Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Pretty good. I'm just trying to figure out why my big screen monitor is not working. So hopefully I can get that going. Is that working?
If we had more time, I could figure it out for you.
Yeah, I know. Okay. It's all right. It's not a huge deal. It's just makes the meeting a little easier for me.
Hi, everybody.
Good evening.
Hey, Bernie, Sarah, Karen.
Hello.
Hello,
Just realized I was muted.
Julie, Sarah, Chris, Karen, RCTV Studios.
My glasses are reflecting. Maybe it's gonna be better. Is that better? Yeah.
Oh, long day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your what do you call those lights? Your ceiling light looks like a star.
It does.
Oh, it does.
Or maybe that's my early cataract formation. I don't know.
One of my handball buddies was just talking about going in next week for cataracts, glaucoma surgery and everything.
Yeah. How old is he?
Not very old.
Yeah.
I mean, he's my age. So actually, it was we had this, it's a good reason to be trained in CPR because once we had just been trained CPR in our office and we were playing handball a few years ago and he went down, had a heart attack
Oh my gosh.
a cardiac event. So I had been just trained in the AED devices. And so my other buddy went and got one and I had to shock him and brought him back. And so he's
Wow.
around now because of those events, because of
That's
those
amazing. So
devices. He's the fifth friend I have who's still around because of those AED devices. Those things are absolutely essential in every building. All right, so where are we here?
I think we are waiting for Tom and Liz. Oh, there's Tom.
I think Tom.
Tom's in the corner.
Yep.
The only person I heard who's not attending is John Weston. He has a work thing he has to do tonight.
So Liz looks like, is he another person? Dan, maybe?
Dan.
Dan and Liz.
Mhm.
Trying to open up all our attachments.
I believe Dan was on vacation, but he was coming back today. So I don't know what the deal is with that.
Yes.
I also have a hard stop at some point, going to pick up my in-laws at the airport. So maybe like 8:30 or 9, I'm not quite sure. Their flights changed like 3 times.
Oh,
Yeah, I have an 8 o'clock call and something else, but somebody else is handling some of those. So sooner the better.
We're gonna have to talk fast.
Yes.
Okay,
Karen,
by me.
thanks for your assemblage of all these proposals, Karen.
you're welcome. Is Andrew on the call? Did he adjust them at all? Does anybody know? We gotten some comments after I had submitted it to him, so I wasn't sure if he had added some line items to it or not. He may have, I didn't compare it.
I only have one version that he sent the other day.
Yeah, we had gotten some other ones before he distributed the version, so Chris Haley had submitted some stuff late. Liz submitted some stuff today, and Tom had another couple comments that maybe Tom can share with the group because it was very interesting.
Julie sent the email earlier with the.
Oh, Julie did.
Yeah,
With the revised,
just as of 2:00, 2:03, combined park proposals in the minutes.
Right.
Yeah, so the one that I sent today is the same one that Andrew sent. Like he sent one
Oh,
and then
yeah.
people pointed out that it didn't include everything. And so then he sent another one and I just forwarded that.
Okay,
So if stuff came in today, it wasn't included.
right. Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll just, as we're going through, we'll just
Right,
realize that.
yeah.
Can
And I'm
we
happy to
talk?
screen share anything you need me to screen share and also edit things like on the fly if you want.
Okay.
And
Is it started?
no, we're just waiting for you. And
For me?
Dan,
Oh, for
we were
Dan.
waiting for you and Dan, but you're here. and
Oh, I've been
Dan's not.
here. I was the first one.
Sorry about that. We didn't see you.
What?
She's been here.
It was Liz. We were waiting for Liz.
That's what I just said. I thought I was
Oh.
talking to Liz.
No,
No,
that was me.
I'm here.
This is there.
This
I
is a
am-
Zoom, this is a Zoom moment.
Nope, I'm here. Just my camera's off at the moment because there's some movement behind me, which will hopefully come to a close shortly.
Okay.
Sarah's right there. Bernie's there.
I'm going to change my screen so I can see everybody.
So we begin
go.
and then maybe, Dan will join. Did you say Dan was not coming? I didn't quite understand that.
I know he was on vacation and coming back today. I don't know what today defines though. It could be like 11:30 at night. So I only found out because I went into the store and his whoever he has working there mentioned it.
And do we know is John Weston able to join us or?
No. Julie said he was busy.
Gotcha.
As far as our agenda then is concerned, I have only gotten through about the first page and a half of the minutes. I did send out something to Julie about 4:30. I've been working pretty furiously on trying to assemble the survey results. So I have not got any comments, although I may reserve that for our next meeting. So I can get through the whole rest of them. Anybody else have comments on the minutes?
I just had one, there was one part where it says that I said something about idling parking, and I don't remember ever discussing it. I thought that might have been Jay. That's all.
Where is that on the minutes?
It's, okay, where,
Bottom of page 2, maybe?
can I,
I did mention something about idling parking. Well, I mentioned
It's at the bottom of
signs.
page 2.
no idling signs being something to consider, and then maybe also something for the enforcement officer to consider at least talking to people about to try to reduce idling if he sees it.
yeah, that
Should
was
we
definitely
attribute-
not me, so that was you.
So we'll edit the minutes to say Mr. Jackson.
Yeah, I can screen share them. I can explain. That was when my dog and I like missed who said what and what was actually said. So I'm glad you remember and can correct that. Let me just screen share it really quickly.
It's all good.
We can fix it.
Yeah, you're just like, I know, I'm forgetting a lot these days, but I didn't forget. I don't think I said that.
All right, so that was
Very at the bottom of page 2.
okay. Okay. So Ms. Jackson?
Mr. Jackson.
Okay. Sorry. Is that correct?
Anybody else have comments on the minutes? Do people feel like we should accept these, or do people need more time to go over them? We could defer this till the next meeting if needed.
I mean, they looked okay to me, so,
It's okay to me, but if others need more time, that's fine.
yeah.
All right, I'll just reserve comment until I get through the whole thing, but sounds like everybody's. So move to accept.
Aye.
Second,
Aye,
All in favor?
all in favor, yep.
Raising
Aye.
hands, yep.
yep.
Any opposed? Sounds like none. Thank you. Do we have any members of the public available in the waiting rooms or online in any way? How would we know that? Is that
I
RCTV?
can-
that-
You do not have anyone from the public in the Zoom session. There might be people watching from home.
Okay, okay. Just looking, trying to get my agenda open here.
Bernie, did you send us all an agenda?
I thought that the agenda was sent,
We did
I
get
thought it
it.
was by,
Oh, okay.
Maybe it
Oh, yes,
was-
yes, yeah.
yeah, maybe it was, Julie sent it on the 3rd of November.
I meant to include it today in today's email, but I don't think I did. I was kind of rushing out of the office when I sent that.
So one other item, I did send Julie and Andrew a rather extensive summary of a couple of the questions on the survey, along with all the, most recent survey updates, which I think was already, I'm not sure if they were actually distributed. I don't think the final survey results were distributed unless I missed something. Let me just check the Andrew email of the 4th of November.
So what you sent us today was not final, or?
Well, it's the most up to date.
Okay, yes, so that one wasn't distributed because neither Andrew nor I was in the office this afternoon when you sent it.
Okay, so,
I can send it to everybody right now.
yeah, that would be useful. And then I don't think that the, maybe, what is this park that Andrew sent out? Let me just see if that's, anyway, why don't we, so we're on item number 3, review parking survey data and other data. So let me just, I'm just trying to see if this item that Andrew sent on the, for some reason I can't open, there's an item that Andrew sent that I thought what might have been park data. It's PARC 11/10/7 PM. But every time I try to open it, I can't open it.
That's the agenda.
Okay, so. And then there were 8 accounts, KRG employee spaces, postmark parking, A shift, and then SB police department car reserve. So I don't think we had the updated survey results. Maybe what I could do then is,
I think Julie just said she's going to send that through to us now.
right, so if she does that, and I don't think
Just
there's
sent
a
it.
lot of, I don't think there's a lot of new stuff in there.
Do you want me to screen share it, Bernie?
I was gonna do that. Let me see if I can do that. Is it possible for me to do that, Julie?
Yes.
Let me just go to my share screen. Screen 1. Share. Hopefully you can all see that.
Yep.
I don't think there's a tremendous amount of difference from what we've previously discussed, at least. I don't want to, in the interest of time, I don't want to, rehash a lot of the stuff that we've already talked about. But I think at the end of our, within the next week or so, I think it would be useful to try to create a presentation out of these questions so that we can provide that to the PTTF and the select board. But I think the question 1 has been well discussed. I asked Jean Delios if we could take this question 2 data and put in let's say the precinct numbers here, just for completeness, so that we can summarize these data by precinct. That hasn't got done yet, but yeah, I also sorted this. I thought I sorted this. This might not be the version that I thought it was. Oh, no, it's not the version, because I'm working on the most recent one. So this can easily be sorted by street. And when you sort it by street, there are lots of duplicates, so that it should be pretty easy and quick to get the precinct numbers in there. But just to give people an idea of how, I think in this particular survey, we've got reasonably good dispersion around town. Again, I don't think there's anything new here. Question 4, similar. But let me just, unless anybody has anything in particular they want to review here, I just thought I would just point out a couple of things that I did here. So, we have all these responses on question 14. So the question was, Reading has adequate parking for my needs? Yes and no. I think it's a material percent saying no, and comments. So we do have a lot of comments, and I think what we're dealing with last time is that, gee, it's an awful lot of comments. How do you make sense of them? So what I did is I just went by one and just read the comment and in some way tried to categorize it. And as I was going through, I just developed these categories, which you see up here under column G. And they're a lot of them are pretty repetitive. So in total, we have 245 comments. And, if you go through, like, for instance, Reading has adequate for my needs. In this particular case, the person, made the comment that now, while coming out of it was worse before the pandemic, and many new buildings have been constructed. I see parking being an issue moving forward as more people move into the town. So I put that, as development is or will make it worse. And then, as I went through, I just made these various categories. You're more than welcome to go through and edit or cross-check any of this stuff, but I think it's pretty accurate. And there are things kind of they go kind of every which way. A lot of people, 41 people said parking is okay. 17 people said CVS lot is difficult, and so forth. It's not obviously complete because we have 700 and something responses, and so we don't have 770 individual open-ended comments, but we always tried to get these open-ended comments. So they go from line 28 to 296. So it looks like we have about 270 or so comments that were shared. And so all this is saying is that people need to park elsewhere. Parking is tight, hard to find, time of day dependent, need more parking spaces or a garage. It's getting more difficult, no need to meet. You can sort of read these daytime hard lot, so forth. But basically the big categories are development is or will make it worse. Parking is okay, that's kind of similar. CVS lot, not surprising. Parking is tight, hard to find, and then it kind of drops off a little bit. Need more parking spaces or a garage. As we get to the next question, I think you'll see that gets repeated quite a lot more than I thought it was. It's getting more difficult and so forth. You can kind of see the number of responses and the percentages. I was surprised that so many people found that nighttime was hard to park. I'm not sure that that's, well, there are some other questions that address this. And I think as we summarize all these, it will be helpful to kind of tie some of this together. Parking resulted in a loss of business or do not go downtown. So that's kind of the other big category. And then we remember talking about handicap or difficult for elderly, some commuter rail issues here. So that's this question, and then I'll jump quickly to question 22. There were other questions where we had some categories, but like question 16, I did not have time to kind of bin up these questions, but this was on, electric charging. I think we've got some more. Question 18, we had more comments here. I just didn't have time. More here. But I shop, dine, run errands outside downtown Reading. Really, the big issue here is because we go to the next question and ask people where they go. And if you look through this, and I'll try to summarize this better, but there's a ton of Woburn, Wilmington, but a lot of Woburn throughout. And it's just a matter of quantifying that. I don't think that's, then we have this. And this is the big one here. So this is the question where we ask, please provide any other input you feel is appropriate to consider parking and so forth. And we had 245 responses. And they're all down here. And I basically did the exact same thing.
Bernie,
Yep.
sorry to interrupt you, but I'm just want to think about time here. And I think everyone will be able to look through this, and we can probably glean like the kind of the broad stroke ideas. I think we kind of know what has, we've talked about this for a few meetings now. And we know obviously with the Nelson Nygaard, that there is not actually a problem. I think we're kind of past this. We know what the problems are, and now I think we're trying to get to solutions. And that's why everyone went.
And that's,
can I finish,
yeah,
please?
if you just give me a second, Jay. I agree that, and this is where everybody kind of talks about the solutions. This is where we.
There's
So, I
also
mean-
the other problem of that we need to make sure that we actually are. So, I mean, part of our reason for being here was to make sure that we are doing the outreach to the community, which this survey obviously does a good piece of it, but we don't know whether or not that's good enough for the congressman, the select board. And I think, the person who could possibly tell us is Chris, are we doing enough to please the select board as far as outreach, or are we gonna need to do more?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Chris, if you could just give me about 60 seconds, I think we can finish this off.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So basically here, and this is any input you feel is appropriate. A lot of people had a lot of positive, there were a lot of suggestions as to what to do. And, that's kind of the base, that's the most important, feedback that we've had in all these surveys. So here, make and build more parking. And so these are all unsolicited comments, but of the 255 responses here, what I did is there are 3 items that I accounted for. Some people had 3 suggestions or 3 comments. I didn't find many more than that. So I just allowed for there to be a possibility of 3. So it doesn't add up to 245, it adds up to 255, and that all cross tabulates. So basically, make and build more parking was quite strong. I was surprised at how many people really were behind making and building more parking. And without a doubt, the Walgreens spot was
Bernie, I'm
mentioned.
gonna stop one more
probably
second. I move to actually go ahead and discuss a plan for thinking through the,
What's your objection to just going over to this?
because we don't need
I
to,
don't
we can read it on our own times, and we've already gone over many of it. And it's just a survey, it's one piece of data, we don't even know if it's enough. So I move to focus on the plan for making sure that we have enough coverage for reaching out to the community.
Yeah, look,
Yeah, I'd
I
agree.
mean,
Bernie, we have gone over these results a lot and we can all read them. And you, at the beginning of this meeting, you and others referenced having limited time tonight. So why don't we try to just get on to some other stuff?
all right. I mean, all I would point out
Are you
here
seconding
is
that, Liz?
making and building more parking, reducing regulations,
Okay, so it's been seconded. So do we want to
reducing
vote on it to
development.
see if that's where we're going to move things forward?
and improving
That's
traffic.
how
But there's
sort of
quite a
stuff
lot
works.
of data here on this. I think we've talked about it, and I think the point of this, the point of me bringing it up here is that these.
Bernie, everyone
these
just mentioned
comments-
what we want to move forward with, unless anyone's opposed besides you. Is anyone else opposed to focusing on that?
Yeah, I'm opposed. I wanted to hear Bernie ask for just a couple minutes. I think we ought to give it to him.
All right, give him a couple minutes.
So, I mean, I'm almost through, but basically what it shows is that there is very vocal, these people took their time to fill out the survey, to provide, their comment, their well thought out comments. And that's all I think we need to listen to these people as to what they're saying. So there's a very high percentage that wants to build more parking. There's also a fairly strong contingent that was very strongly, and you can see all their comment. What I did is I provided, these are all edited comments. You can read them. They are very strongly not in favor of, more regulation, more parking, more paid parking and so forth. And then there's a equally amount of comments saying that they're very concerned about the development. Aside from that, the traffic flow, if you just take a look at the double digit numbers here, improving traffic flow was a big concern. A lot of people were interested in adding biking, shuttle services, public transport. I know we don't have control over that, but a lot of comments there. Parking results in them shopping elsewhere. We've heard that elsewhere. And then we've got a lot of people felt that parking was adequate. So, and then we had, so basically that's all I wanted to say. And I think it's really imperative for us, if we're trying to speak for people, to make sure that we kind of read their comments and hear what they had to say. So that is the outreach we've done. And I don't need to spend a lot more time on it, but thanks for listening. Let me see if I can stop that share.
So is that enough outreach? Do we know?
It's just, we've got a total of over 700 responses, which is as much response as we've had for, we had more on, I think, the other survey, which had about 1,500, but it didn't go into quite as much detail.
I don't think it's been enough outreach. I think
Okay.
that we need to use town hall to try and do, I know they've done blasts before, and for whatever our seminar or our workshop is going to be, we need to make it annoying so that nobody can come back to us and say that they didn't know about it. And at one of our meetings earlier, we had someone that was on the select board who lives on Mount Vernon, who she claimed that she didn't get notified, which I find it unbelievable, but just that one person claims she wasn't notified. We need to make sure that everybody's notified. So Sarah and I walked around and handed it out to as many people in our area as we did. We'll have to do it again for the survey, but we're going to for the meeting, but we're going to have to do other things in order to get it across to everybody. Because I think the survey, as wonderful as it was, it didn't touch the entire town. It didn't touch the commuters. It didn't touch people that weren't downtown. I think it missed a lot of people.
Well,
Yeah,
and
I
I
mean, I'm-
agree. I think we
I'm
definitely
all
need to
for
have
that.
more of that. And with the, sorry, 1 second. With, you know, we also need to have a bulleted list of what our, what we want to propose for people to then be able to have something to chew on versus just saying that. So that would be my suggestion, would be to go through all the different bullets and then say yay or nay and see where we have consensus and then where we have disagreement. And then we can maybe at least get some bullets. And then if there's some that we need to have further conversion on, or conversation on, then we can do that. That'd be my suggestion, and as well as coming up with a plan for that outreach that satisfies the city. And Julie and Chris would be the best to know, and Karen's ideas of how we want to make that happen.
I mean, I did, just to give you some, you know, we did have a pretty big surge when we first announced the survey. We then had some other outreach. At one point, a few weeks ago, we did have a postcard that went out with 2 surveys on it, right, Julie? And I think that went to every town, every household in town. Is that right?
Bernie, I agree. And I'm not saying that what we haven't done so far is great. I'm just saying we need to make sure that we do what is required of us.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
So-
that this we haven't done is great. I'm not saying it's great that we've done
I'm not-
stuff.
I'm
I'm
not
just saying we need to
either.
figure out what it is that we need to actually do, and then we need to actually do it.
Well, before you interrupted me, Jay, all I was going to say is that when we did do the postcard mailing, we had a big jump in our responses. So that was something that really worked. And Liz, I don't know if you can comment on whether the PTOs or otherwise, I seem to think we had a little bit of a jump at that point, but I really couldn't tell. So we had one big surge of about 300 when we first came in. The postcards came out, we had about another 200. So we could do more, we could do like 3 more postcards, right? Just keep hammering away. That's the direct mail.
Except that
rules.
we've got to piggyback on something that was funded in another way. We actually don't have the budget to do more postcards. I'm a huge proponent of direct mail, and that's great, but it costs money. I think the listening or the session that we have scheduled for January is going to be important. And I think Karen has something she would like to say.
I just want to jump on that, where until we have a plan in place, we can't explain to the people that really want to add more parking. We need to explain to them, we have a lot of parking. We're going to readjust who's parking where, and there'll be a lot more parking available. And so until we have something legitimate to say to them, I don't think we should be reaching out at all until we go through the chart and say yes, yes, no, no, and present them with something. And feedback in person is going to be the most important thing, not just somebody filling out a survey, because they're not hearing our side of it. If they're not watching us on cable, they don't know what has been done with their information. So we need to expand it and talk to them and have them talk to us and have us give them the information that we've been, talking about for months and months, so that they can understand what it is. So they at least have a clear idea of where we're headed, and explain to them why we think that the kiosks are actually going to work in our favor. And you may not actually have to pay for parking. Everybody just assumes, oh my God, I'm going to have to pay for parking. But if it's free for the first hour, you're really not. If you come to town for 20 minutes, you're not going to pay for it. So I think I agree with everybody, but until we have something legitimate to show them, we can't have them come talk to us until we know what they're going to talk about. So.
Yeah, time for us to put forth some recommendations and let people react to that. I agree.
So are you going to talk to us?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, I think it's admirable what you and Karen ended up doing by going out and passing out mailings to everybody in the downtown area over there. I think that's above and beyond what Park was expected, beyond the town employees that would be getting paid for doing something like this. Neither one of you got anything, as far as I know. So I think in terms of reaching out, yes, the survey with the postcard going out to everybody, the direct mailing's like $2,000 or something like that, roughly. So to piggyback on somebody else was huge. I know there's been articles in the paper about the park stuff. We had the what do you call it? Not field day, town. Yes, it's more of, I think that we've done, say 80%. We're never going to get to 100 no matter what. There will always be somebody, 10 people, 20 people that never got it, had no clue. It is what it is. It's, I think if you're talking about going around one more time and passing out some stuff, yes, we do have to have our date set for, we're going to have the meeting January 7th. Public discussion, we are presenting with what we're going to do. We want all your feedback. So before you would pass the stuff out, we do have to finalize that, which I thought we'd be doing a portion of that at least tonight. And in terms of the select board, I had mentioned at the meeting last night of possibly December 7th, Liz or Bernie, both of you just coming in and just giving an update on some stuff for that. So I don't know if you're free on the 7th. That's kind of the only time I believe that we had available in December, on the agenda anyway. So if it's.
Well, I'm sorry. I
No,
just
go
had
ahead.
an idea here. Can we get one of those signs and put it on that board in the common? A big sign like we do when we have concerts and other events that just says, hey, public parking input night, this time, this place.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that was one of our early suggestions, just put those QR codes around in all the parking lots. And-
Well,
Yeah.
I'm talking about that sign in the common that you can put slide three signs in, like,
Oh, yeah,
To advertise the meeting.
yeah.
yeah,
It's a good idea.
I think it's going to be bold and just like, park meeting, January 7th, 7th.
Come.
And then with, the stuff underneath it where if someone's walking by, but more of,
Just want to chime in and suggest that you stop saying January 7th out loud in case anyone's watching at home. That is a Friday.
Okay.
Not having a public forum on a Friday night.
Okay. Do we have a date yet?
No, you have not picked a date.
Okay.
So
Which is probably just as well since we don't have anything to present. Chris, I am available December 7th. I don't know about Bernie, but I
have
could
an
do
open-
December 7th if that, to come to the select board, I mean.
Yeah, I have it open.
Okay, perfect.
Do
So
we
yeah,
pencil that in?
I'll CC Bob and Karen and have you guys, work out the time. I think it's after 8 o'clock on that date, but it's not up to me, but I believe that's the way it was discussed.
No problem.
can you clarify for me really quick what it was you were hoping would happen at the select board meeting on the 7th? Because I missed.
Just a park update, Mark and the board and everyone just want to update to see what's going on beyond me. Just, I don't want to represent all of you. So kind of just what the board was collectively thinking. And I think if by the December 7th meeting, if we can have something, pretty finalized, I think that would be a good thing. And then we can present to the residents as well. So something like that seems adequate enough. But I do agree that we do have to, kind of hash out with all the stuff that we submitted over and just start going through. And if everyone says kiosk, it's kiosk. Now we determine the time and how much is free and et cetera. It's just rifle through these things and maybe we're all on the same page and we're done in an hour or not. I would like to go that route as well.
Chris, is there a particular percentage of penetration that the select board is hoping to receive? Like, is there some sort of number that they can give us, whether it's 5% of the population, 10%, 12%? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think that if it was me making the decision or whatever, I'd like to know what it was before, and it was 1,500 before, but that was, people, town staff over at the train station and everything to be able to hit 1,500. I mean, that is a significant amount of people. So seeing it around the 750, 800 areas is obviously in half, but if it was originally the 300, absolutely not. That just seems way too low to me. But now it's kind of getting into that general idea of what we're at, plus with Sarah and Karen's extra effort out there with specifically the residents along the downtown. I mean, I would be, I guess if we hit $1,000, I'd be happy, but like, what are we really going to get that's going to change our mind in another 200 things? All 200 people say parking's fine or it isn't. I mean, it's kind of shadowing what it was before. There's the people that think it's fine, the people that don't think it's fine. kiosks work, kiosks don't work, it's too expensive, I don't want to park here. It's, we just got to come up with something, see what everybody thinks, put it out to the residents, get the feedback and call it a day for the most part.
Julie, you did a lot of outreach in some meetings and information sessions. How many people attended those? Give or take.
So I had to think back to a different part of my memory. There were like a handful at each one usually. I think that just to kind of chime in on the question about what level of penetration the select board might think is enough, I think it might be more about ensuring that the right people are getting notified of any potential changes, right? So it's great to get the broad community feedback from the survey, but I think when the time comes, it'll be really important to make sure that specifically the downtown area, the downtown businesses, the downtown residents, anyone who has regulations along their property frontage that will be impacted. There's specific and actual notice to every person that will be impacted by and changes that. Every person downtown. I think it's hard because I think everyone who uses downtown parking will be impacted by the changes in some way, right? But there's the people who live downtown and work downtown every day that are going to experience every day. And I think that it's more about making sure that those people are part of the conversation. And I do think that, while I agree that it's good to have something real to share with people before you just maybe open the floodgates or whatever, the sooner you can wrap those people into the conversation and try to get them to your meetings to hear what you're discussing and thinking about, and to get their input. It's kind of walking that line between when it's too early, but when you want it to be too late, right? Because you want to be able to demonstrate that you're hearing what people are saying and trying to incorporate some of the things that they're saying into your recommendations. So I do think the sooner you can get more public participation in meetings, the better.
I mean, the other, just to reflect, the other thing that we actually did get good responses from were when we mailed out to the town meeting members a request to have them distribute the survey among their constituents. And that actually also jumped. So we had 3 big surges of participation. The initial surge when we circulated it out, the town meeting members, and then the postcard mailing. So we could theoretically ask the town meeting members a couple of more times to get it out. In fact, one of my relatives who lives off Franklin Street behind Home Goods, kind of way up there, they actually got somebody that printed it out and dropped it in their mailbox, which was really surprising to me. So anyway, I do think that that's working. We could do, that doesn't cost us anything to send it out to the town meeting members, and that might help improve but I would say, just to summarize this survey relative to other surveys, the former survey, which was the 1,500 response, I believe that most of that, Julie, correct me if I'm wrong, was only mailed to the local downtown residents and passed on to the train people coming off the train. Is that correct?
I don't know if I could speak to that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we covered that. So anyway, all I'm saying is that I think that this particular survey has broader distribution among the whole town, and a lot of, I mean, we had a fair number of people outside of Reading who also participated in this study, so we could argue that the former studies were far more narrow in scope, and this is broader, and the more we get, the better. So if I was to, kind of preview how we would summarize this and compare it and contrast it, that would be a, sort of a 30-second soundbite.
Tom's had his hand up for a while, so I think we can-
Yes.
Tom, was there something
Tom,
you
did
wanted
you
to
have
say?
any-
You have your hand raised.
Oh, there.
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to point out was piggybacking on what Chris had to say. The next meeting we're scheduled, if we're staying on a 2-week session, is going to be the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. If we meet, that's fine, but that's the last meeting before, I think Chris has given us a date that the select board would like to have some kind of an update from this committee. And if this is the case, I think tonight we've got to start putting our energy towards, trying to define, put together some sort of outline of what the selectmen are looking for. I know it doesn't have to be finalized, but put a program together either tonight or because we're only going to get one other meeting possibly unless we move the 24th. That's all I wanted
agree.
to point out, please.
I'd say we start going down the list and seeing where the what people agree on and what people disagree on. Get some sort of a semblance.
Barney, you're muted.
Julie, can you share the chart?
Yeah, and I did just mute people because there was a lot of background noise coming from someone's screen. I was having trouble hearing Tom. So,
Okay.
Julie, is the 24th a set date? I don't
no,
have that.
at your last meeting, you said you were not going to meet the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Did we change it to Tuesday or did we not make a day?
No, I think you were looking at December.
Okay.
That Tuesday is a select board meeting.
Okay.
I'll be attending, I think. So that'll take away 2 of us. Let me just see here. Combined park proposals. Screen share that.
Tom, I did not get a chance to share your email until I sent it to Andrew today. So I didn't know at some point if you want to share with everybody your comments about CVS parking lot.
I kind of reply. I don't know who that went to. I wanted to make sure you got it, Karen. Thank you
I
for
did.
acknowledging. As was said at the beginning of this committee, I'm not sure who was supposed to, but anyway, it's out there. My comment Karen's referring to was I have selectively, for selfish reasons, been active downtown and gone out to the CVS lot and around to some of the businesses about in Gutton Viewpoint, though limited, of the people downtown, the businesses downtown. One day last Friday, the email basically says that we were about 5 deep, people waiting, idling to find a spot. I happened to walk up, it's a short distance, there were 4 cars in Town Hall on a Friday because obviously Town Hall's closed. I mentioned it to a few people, went over, very polite. Their responses, 2 ladies that were in the car said they would go up because they were going to be downtown and had no problem walking down. I know it's a very small sampling, but through other conversation, I'm getting the gist. I think we as a committee or the town or someone has to educate the people to the fact that the days, what parking is all about. Maybe that's what this committee can do, is try to understand, put together a format of what Reading parking and where Reading's going with their parking intentions. Because some of the people I've spoke to, they don't even know the time, how many hours they're allowed to park down here. And of course, everybody seems to be aware, which we've talked about before, that there is no enforcement. So until when that person is hired, I think a front page article on the Chronicle, I'll put that on the bulletin board. That might be an asset. But I just felt that day, I did go out, talk to some people. Some of them, I have to go all the way there to park. That's the closest. So I know we've discussed that mentality, but this is what we're dealing with. And everybody can't park right outside the door of the business though they want to go to, but I think we have to, we've been charged with the task of putting something together. I think it's been mentioned, especially with the time restraints of tonight's meeting, we should have, I've got some points that yay and nay and move on from there, and good, bad, or different, get a draft ready, and then we'll get some feedback from the select board and see whether they're in favor or what we're doing or not. That's my opinion. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
All right, so shall we start just going down this list and just do a rapid fire yes, no, not sure count? Is that feasible? I mean, I realize it's a long list, but maybe that's a good
It's a
starting
long
point.
list. Can we
Let's
start
do
with
it.
some of the ones that are smaller? That, like the miscellaneous is pretty big and would take a lot of, like some of them are smaller, like easier to vote on, if we can work through the list that way.
There's always the not sure yet too, just,
Correct.
but I'm cool however you want to skin the cat.
Can I just ask, should we vote as a group as we finish each section that we're voting that we finished it, or shouldn't there be some kind of a vote, or?
I mean, I think we can vote. I think part of this too is to just provide some options too. So I'm not sure that,
Okay,
I mean,
I don't mean line by line. I just meant like after we do our counts, then we just vote. Okay, we did that section. Yep. Okay, next
Yeah.
section. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem taking a vote. I think we just have to be clear that when we're making recommendations, it might be useful for everybody to just also have options, like here's one solution and here's the second potential solution, because they might not all work at every point. There may be a timeline. I was going to suggest that, some of these things get done over. It might not all be
Mhm.
happening right away.
But it'll show trends, what the trend is, what the general trend is, right?
Trend.
Julie, here's a logistical / open meeting law legality question. Is it possible, are we allowed, if we slapped this into a Google sheet right now and can we work on it collectively during the course of this meeting?
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rather than reading it aloud. I mean, I know that would be a better thing to plan for, but.
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
is an idea. And if I
I don't have Google whatever, so it's
don't-
not gonna work for me.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question, Liz. Maybe for researching for next time.
Okay.
can we just raise our hand, like
Yeah,
High Street support, whatever?
Yep. All
Yeah.
right. Who's going to be the counter? So
Yeah,
Julie, are
because
you the one updating the document?
I am, but I have to say I can't get my big monitor to work for some reason. So I'm doing everything on my tiny screen. So if I might need you
So
to,
I have it up on mine and I can do it at the same time.
do you want to screen share it, Karen?
Sure.
You know what might be better, as annoying as it might be, is instead of doing the count, we should probably put each person's name or initials. That way we can make sure that things are correct and the numbers, so I can just see problems. And that way,
Right.
instead of, you just say your name as a vote versus I.
Yeah.
Just-
So I was thinking I would
Work it
put your
smooth.
initials. And so if you basically just
Okay.
Sarah, if I say support and then you could just say Sarah, Karen, or if Bernie wants to call on everyone and they can say, and then I can just type in initials or whatever, however that might work.
Okay.
Like we do roll call voting with other boards. And so the chair basically just says each person's name and then they say yay or nay or not sure or whatever. So,
All right, well, let me catch up to you then.
sorry. Karen, so you said you're editing your version of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you want me to share it at the same time, or do you just trust that I'm going to put it down here correctly?
Well, do we both need to edit? I mean, I don't want to make you crazy trying to keep up. And I mean, it's probably
It's
good.
whatever's easy for you. I have a big, huge screen sitting here and I have 2 screens, so it's not hard for me.
All right. Why don't you take the reins then? I'll stop my screen share because I'm also doing minutes for you. So
That's true.
Oh, God, yeah.
it's a
Um,
little
So
bit.
Karen, do you mind
Well,
sharing
let's-
and
No.
Karen, do you
let
mind
me
sharing and
just,
writing in initials?
And I think that it would be helpful if we don't give explanations or anything in this first round just to get through it. Otherwise, if I interject on, yeah, I'm okay with parking Monday through Saturday, but not on, it's like we gotta rifle through it and then we can, if all of us agree, then, it's easy enough. But
Do you want to add another column for like, it's complicated? I don't know.
That's not
Hey,
sure
one-
yet.
it's
Not sure
tough.
yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I think to Chris's point, let's not have color commentary. This is not binding. This is a
Right.
directional, like where's your head at right
Agreed.
now?
Agreed.
It's not
So-
votes, it's just acknowledgements. or
If we raised hands, then one of us could just call out, SB, CH, K, you know what I mean? I just want to make it fast. So,
Yes.
Okay,
The other thing I would just, for future reference, maybe pros and cons on each of these items so that we could just kind of, that would not be done tonight. I understand.
Definitely
But
not.
I would just say
That's
that
not-
that would be useful to have as a, as useful input for the select board.
okay.
do
So,
you want me to call out the initials to you, Karen, when people raise their hands?
yeah, please, because I don't,
Okay,
looking at two different things at the same time.
okay.
So where are we going to start? On miscellaneous and just move down or start in a different section?
Let's start after that. Let's do miscellaneous last. Let's start at employee parking and go down from there.
Okay.
I don't understand what does this mean that employees would be allowed to park in these locations or would not be allowed to?
I understand that there would be a sign saying employee parking and that they would know that they could park there.
Okay.
So
Karen,
would
since
be.
you wrote these out, can you give a little explanation before each one? Because I agree with Bernie on that. I didn't know what it meant by high street / employee parking.
Oh, okay. Some of the comments were street by street and some of them were just vaguely in areas as far as where to move the parking from the inner core to the outer core. So as of now, High Street, Julie can probably knows this through intimately, whether there's employee parking there or not, and if it can be expanded.
Okay.
Does that make sense, Julie?
Yes, so,
Maybe it makes sense for Julie to do it.
I
So I
think,
do know that Lowell Street in front of Town Hall is just 2-hour parking. So we can change it to 2-hour or employee. That was the methodology of that statement.
yeah, so what if we come back to this one and in the meantime, I can pull up the map I have on my screen. And then when you get to that one, I can tell you what's happening on High Street. And then you can,
Okay,
because I don't remember off the top and I don't want to miss
okay,
all the stuff. So what if you did something a little bit,
easier.
yeah, first.
Also for like the inner core, it's basically talking about the inner core and what we want the regulations to be on the inner core. One suggestion was 30-minute parking and 2-hour parking. It's not dug deep down into what section of the inner core would be 30-minute or 2-hour. These are just, everybody submitted different opinions on what it should be. I think we can all agree, focus on attracting people and limiting long-term parking. I'm pretty sure we'll all agree to that. I don't mean to speak for everybody, but, and then the outer core is Woburn Street, is basically the outer core, and some of the others where there's all different kinds of limitations now, where there's some of it's residential, some of it's 6:30 to 10:30 you can't park, but you can park after 10:30. So it's coming up with a common parking theme throughout the outer core so that it could be 4-hour. This was suggestions from people on the committee, 4-hour or unlimited, 4-hour and employee. Those were different comments. So we probably won't support all of them because that would be not narrowing it down even further than we want it to go.
One more request. Can you zoom in a little bit, please?
Oh, sure. Is that working? Do you see that bigger?
Thank you very much. That's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
So I
Okay.
think actually where these are suggestions, and I think even actually this, to me, the idea on that employee parking one too, was sort of like, yes, you support exploring an employee parking option for High Street. Yes or no, or not sure yet. yes, you would support
Employee parking on Woburn Street.
right. So I don't think we actually need to know what they are now or not. I think it's just sort of like, are these areas that you would consider exploring? Yes, no. And for all of these things, again, these are not full-blown solutions. It's like, I support looking into that further. I don't want to look into that further.
Okay,
I think I don't think we need to solve it as much as we're trying to solve it on a line by line basis.
okay,
You're allowed to change your mind. It's okay. It's a good thing.
absolutely. So where should we start now?
I mean, I can give you my input. Generally speaking, on employee parking, my thought has been that we don't assign them certain places, that we make a lot of the spaces, basically they can park anywhere downtown except a couple of spots like CVS Brandy Court.
Which
And-
line?
and
is
Fine, we're not
Probably-
doing
I'm
overall
gonna say-
conceptual.
Yeah, we're not doing.
concept, Bernie, though,
yeah.
so line by
Well,
line. So that means
line by
that we
line.
would
Yeah,
say
so all I'm
yes
saying
to
is
all of these.
That's why.
Yeah,
that's why I
but
said
it's
I'm
what you're
making it
saying
easy
isn't
for-
what we're going
Excuse
for.
me, Jay, let me talk,
Okay.
Jay.
Every time
Excuse
that
me,
you go
Jay.
off track, I am
Jay,
going to
can you
interrupt
just
you
let me
because we're
finish my
literally in
thought?
this process right now, going through line by line, and you're trying to derail it.
I am not
It's
trying to
wasting
derail it.
time. It kills me.
I was going to say, before I was interrupted,
Yes,
that
you will
you
be
can mark-
interrupted every time you go off track of when we're trying to move what we're going.
if you listen to what I said, I was just going to say that just put me down for do not support for all these things. Next person, thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
fine. It's out of it's out of line and out of order, but that's fine. Go ahead.
So Karen, that's a BH in all of the do not supports.
And I don't mean to be a pain that you need a special Chris Haley on the F line over there, but I'm gonna have to abstain from a couple of them.
Yeah.
In general, so. And I will only be speaking about CVS, et cetera, on other items that aren't specific.
so all of which ones do you have?
No, I'll only go through it when I come up to it. Like obviously I can't do, there was one of
High
them,
Street.
correct.
I'm going to vote all the employees park in front of Chris's store. That's
Yes.
Chris, I think you have to
Alright.
abstain on Woburn Street also. That was within your circle.
Correct, yeah, because that's the top and bottom, so.
Okay,
So since this is actually working by person, so Chris, why don't you now
okay.
on this section, tell Karen to put your initials in support, do not support, or not sure yet for each other line. We can just do it by person in each section.
Yep, so you already got that one. Lowell Street in front of Town Hall is a support. Skip that. Town Hall, yes. Cobblestone, yes. Street by street, I probably have to abstain without seeing it. Offer a limited paid permit. I don't support the offer thing. Restripe, absolutely. It's very, yes.
all righty. Who's next?
Sarah, do you want to go?
Sure, but okay, so High Street, SB, I support. Lowell Street, do not
SB
support.
or SBE?
SB, SB.
Okay,
Do not
Lowell Street.
support Lowell Street. Yes on Woburn Street, SB. Yes on Town Hall, SB. No on Cobblestone. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking that number 2 was the Cobblestone when it said in front. Is this actually the lot that's shared with Creative Arts, the second one?
I think it's the actual street parking.
Cobblestone is this referenced the spaces in front of Town Hall that's on the diagonal, that's that.
Okay, on the second one, move me over from do not support to support on the second one. Sorry about that.
This one,
Yep,
Lowell Street in front of
Yep.
Town Hall?
yes. Sorry about that.
No worries. Okay,
The street by street chart, yes.
you didn't do Cobblestone in front of Town Hall.
No, do not support. Yes,
Street by street, I think everybody should look at the street by street, to be honest.
yeah.
Good idea. I'll just skip that. one.
Yeah, but there's a lot of streets.
A lot of this is based on that Nelson Nygaard, isn't it, Karen?
I combined Nelson and Julie's map.
Okay, yeah,
So yes.
yes,
Um,
yes, and yes.
who's next?
Tom, do you want to go?
Where's Tom?
He's unmuting.
I had to unmute my, sorry. High Street is a support. Lowell Street, I'm not sure yet. Woburn Street, I support. Town Hall, Friday, I support. Cobblestone support.
The TO
Street
or
by
SO?
street, not sure. And offer, I'm gonna put not sure. The last one, it means restrict, right? Not restripe.
No, it means actually painting the street, restripe.
Oh, you're gonna restripe certain, oh, I see, Woburn to make, okay. I'm not sure on that one yet either. Thank you.
Okay.
So Karen, at your convenience, you're going to want to change that to TO instead of SO, but for the moment, we'll just move along.
Where's that? What did I do?
You did Tom's initials as SO instead of TO,
Oh,
but we can go back to that. Dan, do you want to go
Sorry, Tom.
next?
there, I wrote myself a note. Who's next?
Dan, you're on mute.
Sorry, I was hitting my space bar. I thought that would unmute me, but it wasn't. So, most of these I do not support because I thought we were going to be relegating the employees to the outer core. But I do support offering the limited paid permit, and that's it. I don't support the rest.
Okay, so a lot of these are the outer core. Just to Lowell Street in front of Town Hall is technically the outer core.
Okay, then I support that.
So I don't know if someone else wants to.
I think High Street, those was also considered outer core.
Really? Oh, that surprises me too. Yeah.
Is it Woburn Street outer core?
Yeah, these are all the edges around.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to speak for him. Did you want Woburn Street? That is the outer core.
I would support that, yes.
Can I chime in and just say that, as you might be realizing, they're actually not that far out of the inner core.
Right.
That's why you're all surprised.
Yeah.
They're not that far away.
So Dan, you High Street, are you support or no, or not sure?
I'll be not sure on that one.
And Town Hall evenings, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah, I would support that. Although I'd prefer to see public parking there than employees. But
This doesn't restrict it to just employees. It's just saying this is a place where employee parking could be part of the mix.
true. Okay, and yes, I would support that then.
The cobblestone in front of Town Hall?
No,
Street by street, you haven't had a chance to look at it. Well, the street by street is basically outer core, but I feel like if nobody's looked at it, I don't want to have you comment.
right.
Restriping?
Yes, I support that.
Jay,
Okay,
do you want to go?
Thank you.
you're welcome. Jay?
Yes. So I support all the ones that are outer core. So employee parking to be outer core. I'll just let you, for simplicity, you can just put them all down for that.
Okay. I'm assuming that's,
Although the cobblestone in front of Town Hall, that seems, actually, I don't want to support the cobblestone in front of Town Hall. Are you talking about, is that the road that then turns into where, like, in front of the, on the other side of Woburn, like the north side of it?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's
gonna support
already
it.
employee parking.
Oh. Well, yeah, but like it's already designated as employee parking?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 hour or employee, so,
I'm not sure then. I don't care.
I'll put you there. You can think about it. Street by street.
If those are out of outer core, then you can put me down for street by street.
You can change your mind.
I'm trusting committee.
The permit issue.
Let's see, offer one paid permit to allow those. Would that be like it's not like, you're not talking about handicap, you're just talking about someone who wants to pay to be close?
Correct.
Actually, you know what? I'm not going to support that. It's like the Lexus lanes of parking.
And restriping.
Yeah, restriping probably makes sense. What are you just restriping to make the so you can see the parking spots?
I
Yeah.
can,
Make them more clearly defined.
Okay, yeah.
I can just chime in real quick on that because that's the one that I specifically mentioned in mine, and it was Upper Woburn Street, not all of Woburn Street, but restriping because the top of Woburn only has 4 spots that are striped in there, and everything else, it just becomes that solid line the whole way down. So
And
that's
you
why
just
it's
want,
not an abstain kind of motion, because I wrote it specifically in my email that way.
and you
I
just
think
want your markers of where people can park so that it's not kind of just a free for all.
Oh, yeah. It's basically, you have the 4 spots in front of Tin Bucket or whatever, and then it's just that goes down to a thin line down there. So just make it actual spots so that people know that they can park there. Because to me, I wouldn't think that you could unless you look at the signs. Because it seems as if you're not supposed to be parking, because there's no square there for you to actually do it.
Sure,
So
I support that. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Can I just chime in really quick with something related to that? Just to give you another way of thinking about it, I think striping can be really helpful to delineate like where people can park. There's not conflicts with intersections and driveways. But striping like every space actually may be more limiting in how many cars can fit there. And also is more maintenance and more expense for DPW. Whereas just having some limits, like so people don't have conflicts where they're parking, but maybe not delineate every space and just having signs, that might be a solution to think about as well.
Are these being striped just so that it's designating that there's a space there, or are these being striped as employee only?
Being
Well, we're talking about it in the context of employee parking, but yes, just to show that there's a space there. But to Julie's point, yeah, like on Pleasant Street right now is a great example for me. That's where I park for work. And if the spots were striped, quote unquote, legally, we would definitely fit fewer cars there over the course of the day. But I think there probably is, also to Julie's point, a few spaces where we might need to indicate, yes, driveways and intersection.
Yeah, absolutely the driveways. I think a lot of people don't realize when they're pulling in, they're like trying to squeeze in and then the person
Yeah.
doesn't have enough room to get out, so.
Absolutely. And Karen, I think I'm the last one who hasn't chimed in on the list yet. So you can put me as a yes for everything except for limited paid permit.
See enough? All right, you want to start talking about the next one?
Well, if we talk, you have to be ready to type, so we'll let you finish typing.
That's true. You'd think there would be a faster way to do this, but
No, I think that was pretty good. I think that was good. That's like the most constructive thing we've done in weeks. Well done, everybody.
I agree with Liz.
next. Street parking, should we just keep this down?
Should probably go in the same order so it's more, it's, yes, meaning Bernie would go first, then whoever else, so.
And
the
you,
le-
and
the
then me.
letters are-
Bernie,
Yes.
Chris, me, Jay.
Okay, whatever.
There's Bernie,
We'll
Cruz,
also-
Sarah, Tom, Dan, Jay. It doesn't matter. Just
Yeah.
as long as everybody gets a turn.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, who's going first?
We'll
Bernie?
also have to make sure that we send this out to people who
John.
aren't here.
I send it to Andrew and then Andrew will.
So it's only John right now, right? That's not here, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just, again, I think we need just clarification on what some of these things mean. So small percentage near high frequency retail. It depends on how do you define high frequency retail. So that's the only thing that I'm not
Well,
clear
that was,
about.
this was out of your suggestion, so perhaps you can provide clarification.
Yeah, my suggestion was, I thought, was to designate, well, I think it's below, I thought my suggestions were below, but I thought that somebody had modified my suggestion at one point, that instead of, in addition to CVS, Brandy Court, and Cobblestone, that there are also some high frequency retail that would be good as less than 2 hours. So I guess I would support that, but I would just qualify it by saying, you know, it should be relatively restricted. So you can put me down on that as a support. And then don't support the 2 hour limit. And I'm assuming this means 2 hours everywhere, right?
That's what and that was what somebody proposed. 2 hours everywhere.
And I would support the unlimited parking in downtown district. Do not support resident only.
This was for resident only that are already existing. Right now,
6:30.
resident only 6:30 to 10:30. My recommendation was shrinking it to 9:30. It's not adding these anywhere. It's using the existing 6:30 to 10:30s and changing it to 9:30 so that it would allow employees to park in those spaces and prevent commuters from parking there.
Mhm.
That was what that intention was.
But that is the 6:30 to, right now, the what I would call the commuter rail parking resident restriction is 6:30 to 10:30. Are you
Right.
saying to reduce that to 9:30?
Yes.
Or just the same spaces?
Yes.
Changing
Not-
any
not-
spaces that are already marked 6:30 to 10:30. It's just changing the time frame that that the mark is on it. So
All
it's
right, I mean, I would,
10:30, it's 6:30 to 9:30.
yeah, I mean, I would generally not support I don't support the whole, that whole concept. I think you can deal with it with just a resident only sticker, which basically gives you the same thing. I've never understood why we do that, but let me just say I don't support it. I mean,
Okay.
I like the idea, but I just feel it's not necessary. That's all. It's, I think on the next one, determine guidelines for overnight parking, resident guest. What can somebody who had suggested this just explain it?
It was, I believe it was just to address overnight parking. That was all it was really about, for residents and guests of the buildings that are downtown. And moving outwards, because people that can't park downtown overnight are gonna start encroaching on the outer core overnight parking if they can't find it downtown.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what that, I'm not
Do you
sure.
support having a conversation about coming up with guidelines for overnight parking? Do you
I'm
support
not-
that?
Yeah, just put me down as not sure yet. I don't have enough information to understand what that's
Okay.
about. Because I know, I'm just going back to many of there were enough comments in our survey of people really
What's the
needing
next
to
one?
have that.
Right, that's, no,
overnight
that's
parking.
it, Bernie.
That's
You
all.
were exactly right to say you don't have enough yet, so just
Yeah,
move on to
not
the next
sure.
thing.
Yep.
And we'll talk about it.
Not sure.
Yep.
Support
Pathways.
pathways to increase walkability and safety. Again, I support that. And I'm not sure about what the street by street is. I'd rather not support street by street. And the simple
support.
reason, not support it. The simple reason is that anytime you put one person's street on there,
Need to know the reason.
the person in the street next to it wants it for them. That's why we have the complexity we have. That's all I have.
Jay, what time do you have to leave?
Actually, the flight got delayed, believe it or not. It was early
Yay.
and now it got delayed.
Oh, great. Okay.
And I forgot to even look at the time, but that's okay. Continue going. This is good.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
Sarah, you want to go?
I'm ready. Okay. Support. Do not support. Do not support.
I'm having a brain freeze. Okay, do not support this one?
Yep. Support. Support. Support.
Yep.
Support.
Thank you.
Tom, do you want to go?
Okay, I'll do, yep, support, do not support. Do not support. Not sure yet on resident. And not sure on overnight. Support add pathways. And not sure on the last one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dan, how about you? And you are muted, Dan, just so you know.
All right, sorry about that. Yeah, I support the first one. I do not support the second one. I support I do not support the next one. I support the resident only. I'm not sure on the overnight. I saw that the town is reimposing the snow ban this year. On the pathways, I support that. Street by street, I'm not sure.
Thank you.
Jay?
Okay. I'll support the first one. I guess, remind me again, I apologize, with a 2 hour, what does that mean?
2 hour everywhere.
Oh, just a blanket 2 hour?
Yep. Yes, indeed.
I don't care, but it's fine. I don't have to support that. I don't support this third one. I support the residents only. Unless there's a real reason, I don't support the overnight parking because it doesn't, unless there's an issue with some other thing, but I don't think that's what we're trying to solve. So I don't support that.
Okay.
I could be convinced otherwise. Support pathways and the street by street chart. I apologize if you already said what that is, but what is this?
I'm assuming I'm guessing it's the same chart that I did for employee parking where some of the regulations, it just basically highlights the regulations that are downtown. It highlights where the employees can park, which ones are 30 minutes, which ones are, so I don't think that we've all reviewed it enough to be able to make any decisions on it. Honestly.
All right, then I'll say I don't know. I don't understand it.
Thanks.
It was in the email from Andrew. It was one of like the 5 attachments.
Oh, I'm sure.
Karen, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
Why don't you go?
Okay. Support high frequency. Do not support 2 hour. Do not support unlimited parking. Yes, support resident only changes. Yes, support determining some overnight parking for visitor guests. Yes, support adding pathways. I guess need more info on street chart.
Thank you. Chris?
Oh, Chris, I'm sorry.
No worries. Yes, support on the first one. 2 hour, I can't because employees wouldn't work either. Unlimited, don't support that. Resident only, I will abstain from. Determine the overnight guest thing, that's, I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure what they're doing regarding that. Pathways, yes. Street by street, not sure yet. Thanks.
Great, thanks. I say yes. Oh, 2 hour, I don't. Unlimited parking, I don't. Resident only, I do. I think I do, just because, yes. And yes, since I drafted it, so.
You did a
Alright.
good job.
Nice one.
Inner core. So this, so the inner core and the outer core, inner core doesn't, it's confusing because CVS and Brandy, they're separate as well. So this inner core would be, I'm guessing, anything that's not involved with the 2 parking lots. So it's all this like Haven Street and Main Street and all that inner stuff, not including the lots, because I feel like we're treating the lots separately. Does that make sense?
Sounds good. Let's
Okay.
just make that assumption and
Mhm.
carry on. Chris, why don't you go first this time?
Mine is super easy. Since the word brandy is written, I will abstain from both of them.
Oh, no, we just said we were not gonna,
Oh,
this is everything
I'm
but
going to
those.
take Brandy, well.
But you should say excluding, I think it should be labeled excluding CVS Brandy lots.
Right, right.
Is that what you
Right.
meant?
Yeah, that's what you just said, Karen. So, yeah, perfect. Thank you.
okay. So now I got to rethink this. So 30
Oh, well,
minutes.
I guess this might be too broad for you. I think you still do need to
Yeah.
abstain, Chris. You're right, because there's many of these parking spaces are near you. Doesn't matter. This is,
Yeah, I'll abstain. I'll make it easy.
Great.
Thank you.
thank you.
Who's next?
Jay?
I don't want to go first.
Okay, Dan?
Yeah, I support the 30-minute for sure. I think, there's a lot of businesses such as myself, dry cleaners that people are in and out, so I support that. And I would support the other one as well.
I'm the same. Support.
Oops, sorry.
Tom?
I support and not sure yet.
Bernie?
I'm not sure on either. I think we just need to be more definitive on which businesses we're affecting here.
Fair enough. Jay, ready?
I support the focus on attracting people and limiting long-term parking.
Well, what does that mean anyway? I wasn't quite sure what that means.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's more conceptual and not really an actionable item. So I'm not worried.
What
about it.
are we voting on here?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't remember who.
it's just
did it,
intent.
so
Yeah, I don't understand that. Was that in my thing? I hope it wasn't.
It might have been.
Sounds
Was it
like it.
walkability? Was it a walkability issue or?
I'm sure it was. Yeah, it was either walkability or just trying to, yeah, it was something
Make
along
it
those lines.
safer? How about safety?
Yeah.
Focus on,
Safety is
safety.
super important.
yeah,
I mean-
it is.
Motherhood and
story,
apple
but-
pie, too.
Okay,
I'm-
well, let's not add anything in right now. Let's just react to what's
Jay,
on the
do you have
screen. If we
anything
think
to
this
say
line
on-
item is too squishy, just ignore it. I mean, we're
Okay.
getting into some more specific things in the other areas anyway, but
What
why
about
don't we
the
just not
first
worry
one?
about that second one and just say 30-minute and 2-hour parking within the inner core, not in the lots?
Do you want me to take it out completely?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just
take it out.
gray it out, gray it so that we have a record that it was there, but we don't have to, that we didn't really do anything with it.
Okey-doke.
I don't know.
I didn't hear what your comment was for 30-minute, 2-hour parking, Jay.
Yeah, I'll support it.
Liz?
Yes, I'll support 30-minute and 2-hour parking options in the inner core.
Who are we missing? I supported it.
4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dan's on there. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6, 7. No, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, outer core.
All right, Sarah, would you like to go first?
Sure. Outer core, support.
Thank you.
Excellent. Chris?
Outer core 4 hour limited, don't support. For an hour, an employee, yes, support, and 2 hour an employee, yes.
Tom?
I will support not support and not support.
I have a suggestion. Is there a reason we have to have, because some of these are contradictory.
Right,
Like
the point is that
4
you
hour or
are
unlimited.
agreeing to discuss those further as options. We're not
Could I make
solving
a
it
sug-
right now. This is narrowing down to see, do people even consider these options? So you're
Okay.
absolutely right that you're never going to choose all of these in the end. It's, are you willing to discuss them at all?
Could I make a suggestion that maybe the first one gets split into 2 4 hour, and then another item is unlimited, and then 4 hour an employee, 2 hour and employee all day? I mean, it seems to me like there's no, if somebody's needs more than 4 hours, there's nowhere to park in the outer core. Unless it's unlimited.
I think
So
4
I
hour
would
or
just-
unlimited is meant to encompass that those might be things to explore. That
Yeah,
it
no,
would
just-
be one or those. I think
would
that does
be-
cover what you're looking for.
It would be easier to break it out as 4 hour and then another category is unlimited. I would support that, but I don't know what I'm signing up for on this, but I would not support the last two, and not sure yet on the first one, unless it just seems like if it's 4 hour, then you wind up, nobody can park more than 4 hours anywhere downtown. If that's what was decided, I would not, that doesn't seem to satisfy the needs of the most people that are in town.
So you're,
Not sure yet.
Do residents have a visitor pass card? Is that
No.
something that exists?
You have to pay for it.
Oh, for like a visitor card?
No.
Are you talking about a visitor or a resident? Sorry.
Like when I lived in Somerville and I had a visitor pass that if anyone visited me, they could throw the pass on their dash and they
We
were
do
fine.
not have that, as far as I know.
Yeah, because other than like parking for the train, like there's no requirement to have a resident permit to park anywhere in town. So anybody could park anywhere other than these restricted areas downtown
Well,
or near the train.
There is a lot of resident-only parking in the inner core.
Right, to support that. I'm saying like other than in that downtown area. So we don't have a town-wide, like Somerville, I also used to have you needed a resident parking permit for the whole city. This is.
Right.
but
Exactly.
Julie, correct me if I'm wrong, but the inner core resident parking ends at 10:30. So anyone can park at the train station or a lot of these places. It's just 6:30 to
No, there-
10:30.
There are 2 resident-onlys downtown. There's the resident-only that you pay for at the train station. Let's call it the commuter rail parking.
But it's still only resident only till 10:30.
Yes, and there's a second one, Karen. There's a second resident-only that covers many of the downtown streets around Haven, the cross streets. Those are resident-only. And those permits are given away for free, I think, to all the condo or other owners downtown. 2 separate zones right now, and resident only.
Julie, can you clarify that? I know there are some There's some special consideration on a couple of those houses that don't have off-street parking, but
Yeah, so there are a few things going on. There, like Liz just mentioned, I'll start with that one. There is one home that does not have off-street parking that has a permit to park on the street all the time. There are areas that are specifically regulated as resident only, which I think is all the time. There are two different types of permits that residents downtown can get. So if a resident has an employee parking restriction along their property frontage, that resident can also get an employee permit so they can park there. If a resident has a resident only restriction on their property frontage, that resident can get a resident access permit. So many of the multifamily buildings, I don't know if I should say many, some of the multifamily buildings don't have the parking restrictions on their property frontage, which enables the residents of those buildings to get those specific permits for free. Any resident can buy a resident access permit to be downtown. So I hope I didn't misstate anything there.
I thought that those resident only, not commuter rail parking, I thought that those resident only, at least all the documentation I've seen says that it's only available, it's available for free to the downtown residents only, not to so if I live on Beaver Road, I can't get a free parking sticker to park downtown. Is that right?
If you live on Beaver Road, you can buy a resident access permit.
And how's that?
Resident access permit is available to anyone who lives in town.
But if you live on Green Street and you're impacted by parking, you can get a free permit because
Right.
you live right downtown. Okay.
Right. That's my understanding, and it's nuanced, and we talk about it every couple months, so I can verify that I didn't just give you misinformation and get back to you on that.
That's what I understood it to be. Thank you.
Sure.
Dan, do you want to go?
The 4-hour are unlimited. I'm not sure on that. A 4-hour employee, I would support, and 2-hour an employee all day, I do not support that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Liz?
yeah, I'll support all three as possibilities. Feeling flexible.
Who's next?
Jay?
I can go. Support, support, don't support.
Okay. I think that's it. Now we're on permits. Jay, why don't you go first since you went last one?
Fine. I just want to be agreeable, but all right. Senior citizen permit for free parking anywhere, no time limits. I guess if it's we're just having a conversation about it, so I support having a conversation about it. Let's see, no charge of living on certain streets and allow night parking. Maps, I definitely support. Create single resident only, permit only. I'm not sure yet on the next one. This is actually more challenging. I'm not sure yet on a lot of these.
You don't want, you're not sure on this one?
Yeah, I've been kind of mulling it over as people talk about it, so.
What about this one? I didn't get, is that?
No, I didn't give an answer. So,
Oh.
sorry. Yeah, you can go ahead and put not sure yet. Maybe I'll think it through.
Okay. Who's next?
Chris, you want to go?
Sure, thanks, Liz. Senior citizen permit, not sure yet because I'm not even sure that's legal. Resident permit, no charge of living in certain streets, parking, support, maps support. Single permit, not sure yet, and abstain from the last one.
Alrighty, who's next?
Dan, you want to go? Unmute.
I don't get it. Sometimes I press my space bar and I'm unmuted, and sometimes I gotta go click on it, so I'm sorry. I do support the first one, senior citizens. We have to look out for them. Resident permit, no charge, I support that too. I like the idea of maps. That one, I'll support that for conversation purposes. And I support the last one as well.
Sarah? You are muted.
I'm sorry. Number 1, not sure yet. Number 2, support. Number 3, support. Number 4, not sure yet. Number 5, support.
Bernie?
On the first one, I should abstain since I'd get free parking everywhere. So
That's
I
right.
would
You're allowed to want that if you want that.
I should not support that. According to our survey, most of the people that go downtown are in that category.
Oh, that's true.
So I will not support that. Resident and do not support. The second one I do not support. I support the third one. Create single resident only permit. Probably will support that. Certainly want a discussion of it, and I do not support the maintain existing because otherwise one is contrary to that one is contrary to the one above it. So can't be for both. Well, yeah.
Liz?
Oh, all right, I'll go. And then first one, I'm not sure on senior citizen. Resident, not sure. Maps, yes. Single resident, no, do not support. And maintain, yes.
Tom?
I'm very disappointed as the senior citizen representative on this committee. You have to know where my vote on number 1 is going. You're
Oh, I
all
just
going
need
to
to
be
hear
there
it from
someday.
you.
Just remember that.
I voted for you. I just want to say I voted for you.
Thank you. We have to get a little, come on, we got to lighten up a little. Also, 1 and 3 definitely. 2, I'm not sure. 5, I support, and 4, not sure. Thank you.
Oh. Why am I having a hard time? I'm sorry, you said unsure on the single
Yes.
resident?
Unsure on 4.
Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
You should probably save this spreadsheet.
I've been saving it.
All right, just to make sure.
I'm not new to this. Support, I support. I support. I don't support. Support.
You just said support? Did you mean do not?
Yeah,
support?
that's funny. I put it in the wrong column.
Yeah.
I knew I was eventually going to be a little wary about what these topics were, but
Okay. And Karen, since you're typing yourself, why don't you lead off on this next one? And this one, it is binary, I guess. It's either yes or, it's one or the other.
Yeah, I think delete that second line, right?
I guess so. We don't need okey doke.
I'm a support.
Tom,
I'm in support.
Bernie,
Yes, and by the way, Dan, if you hold your space bar down, it stays unmuted and then it,
Hey, it works.
Liz?
I didn't know that.
Who's next?
Dan, do you want to try holding down that space bar?
I don't think I was leaning on it hard enough, I guess. I don't know. It must be a crumb in my space bar key. I don't know. Yeah, I am going to support that. I do have questions though when we do discuss this, so I will support that.
Great. Chris?
Expand more spaces, yes. Maybe this is a unanimous first one for everyone.
Okay. Jay?
Ooh,
No, I don't support it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris.
Are you serious? Wait, hold on. Jay.
I thought there was enough handicap spaces. Do we need more?
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
we do.
They can park in any other spot too. It's a very limited space when you make it a handicap space.
Expand is like maybe an additional spot. We're not talking like 7 new, like in the same spot.
Yeah.
It's all right, Chris. I don't think I don't think I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it
win this
doesn't
one,
matter.
so you'll be okay.
Liz?
Thank you.
And I support talking about it more. Yeah.
But if you have a handicap plate, you can park anywhere anyway.
Right. No, that's very true. And I think that's Jay's point.
Even in an electric spot, by the way.
Mm.
CVS lot, rear. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Okay, there's a lot of categories, so go slow.
Okay. I support that. I am not sure about,
So there's
Okay.
conflicting things, so
yeah.
don't compare it to the line above.
Okay, this is tricky, but I'm going to say I am not sure yet on number 2. I support 30-minute spots. I think it's worth talking about 30% as 30 minutes. And yes, I'll support the talking about 60%. And yes, the next one, Mark Lot is no, I'm not sure yet about marking it as no employee parking. And yes, I think we should add 1 spot, so, and do not support seniors parking free. And 2 kiosks, first 2 hours free, allow for validation. I'm not sure yet on that one. Spaces, I support 3 spaces for 30 minutes at CVS. I'm not sure about the last one.
All right, who's next?
Chris, you want to go?
Sure, thanks, Liz. Kiosk free for 30 minutes. I don't support. I don't want to elaborate. Kiosk free for the first hour, no. 30-minute spots, yes.
Chris, do you need to abstain on any of this?
No, this is
CVS lot?
You can do
Um,
CVS.
I am golden on this one. These next 3 percentage things, it just becomes way too confusing. and
Recording in progress.
someone's recording.
What?
Recording stopped.
Oh, thank you, whoever that was.
That's weird.
Sorry, I accidentally hit the record button.
Oh,
It was me. I stopped it.
So yeah, these next 3, it's just, we want to make things less confusing. So I'll go don't support on all 3 of those. Mark Lot is no employee, I support. Add 1 to A3, yes. Yes on the 1 to 3. Seniors park free, I, once again, not sure because I don't think that's legal. 2 kiosks needed, that's mine, so I will have to support that. 3 spaces, that's also mine. I wanted that to be exempt from the kiosk, only because I don't want people to get annoyed that they're just going into CVS and they have to do whatever. So, and then if possible, 3 to 5, I don't think we can, I'm not sure yet on the last one, if it's legal.
Can we get rid of the meeting as being recorded? I have that on my screen. It's blocking the spreadsheet.
You can
You
X
just
out of
got
it.
it.
I tried to get rid.
I stopped the recording. I accidentally hit the button. I was trying to do something else and I accidentally started it, but I stopped it.
Just have to click the X in the upper corner. It'll get rid of the message.
Yeah, there's no X on mine.
Drag it.
No. I'll
Does
just
it
drag
not
it
say
away.
you got it, or what does it show you?
Says this meeting is being recorded by the host or a
Oh,
participant.
hit got it. I think
Got
Yeah.
it.
got it or whatever
Oh,
gets rid of it.
Hit got it.
Got it, did it.
Who's next?
Bernie, since you're engaging, why don't you go?
First two, no. The next one, yes. I assume that doesn't mean the whole lot is going. It just means we're going to discuss it. The next three I support as well. And the next one after that, I'm convinced by Jay that anybody with a handicap can park anywhere. So I guess I would not make more spaces, which that just reduces other spaces.
Did you say yes to Mark Lot as no employee parking?
I did
And now ADA, what did you say on that one?
not support. Because it sounds like from Jay, what happens is it just reduces, it reduces the total parking available. And somebody who's got handicap can park anywhere anyway. So it's, I guess he convinced me on that.
Well,
Do not
I'm sorry.
support. Do not support the next two. And then I support the 3 spaces outside. And do not support the next one, the last one.
Great. Jay, do you want to go?
Sure. Kiosk free for 30 minutes. Don't support. 1 hour, do support. 30-minute spots, support. Zone is 30 minutes. Man, I don't even care. Sure, support. Support for the next 3. Mark Lot as no employee parking. Support for the Mark Lot, no parking. Add 1. I agree with Bernie that we do not want to.
I agree with you.
Can you
Just agreeable.
add the ADA spaces? I didn't hear your.
Yeah, sorry. Add 1 to 3 ADA spaces. No, I do not support that. Seniors park free, unlimited permit or tag needed. No, I'm not going to support that. 2 kiosks needed, first 2 hours free. Yeah, that's fine. Support. 3 spaces directly outside of 30-minute spots. Don't care. Not sure yet, I guess. Don't support on the last one.
Karen, why don't you go next for something exciting and different? Put you right in the middle.
I'm supporting just because it's a possibility. It's not, it can be anything. 30-minute spots. Yeah. Yes, I don't support. I don't think that we can support that. I don't think employees don't have to put their parking sticker in there, so I don't think it's going to do anything. They can just. I'm not sure about this one. I don't support that. Support that. Right, Liz?
I don't think you captured yourself on ADA spaces.
I didn't. I did not. I don't think I support that. Okay. Thank you for catching that.
Sure. Okay, sure, I'll go next. Kiosk, 30 minutes, yes. Kiosk, 1 hour, yes. 30-minute spots, yes. The multi-percentage zones, put me as a no for all that. I think it's too complex. No employee parking. No, I agree. It's not policeable. Add ADA spaces. I'm a not sure on ADA spaces. Seniors park free, no. Sorry, Tom, it's nothing personal. 2 kiosks needed. So Chris, you said this is yours, and I think you guys talked about it at the last meeting when I was indisposed. Is it that you're just saying you want to make sure there are 2 kiosks in the lot and not just one? And then is this allow for validation? That's my one question here, just because I think the previous kiosk things didn't require validation. So I'm just, can you?
No, yeah, Liz, it's, so you have one at the top of CVS and one at the bottom, so people don't have to walk so farish, and validations like not employees. Like I go to, Bunratty's or something like that, and I end up, so we have a party and we're there for 3 hours. They would validate for, my thing is the 2 hours would be first free, and then everything beyond that, businesses could validate or you pay for it yourself kind of thing. It's just up for discussion what kind of semantics you use.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, I'll give that the not sure, but thank you for clarifying.
Yep.
3 spaces, yes. And last one, no for me. Dan?
I was hitting my space bar on that and nothing, it wasn't working, I swear to God.
You gotta hold it.
I was
Hold
holding it, man.
I don't believe you.
I almost pressed it right through my desk. The first one I support, first 2 I support. I support the 30 minutes. I support all the percentages, and I do support marking the lot, no employee parking. The ADA, what's the difference between an ADA space and a handicap space?
I think
I think the intent is handicap space there.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be the same.
Same thing.
Could I add one thing after Dan is done?
Well, I got a couple more, but go ahead, I'd jump in.
I just wanted to say to think about, because like, I don't know what, I'm like the person that's always taking the person who's just had an operation to CVS to get their medicine. And I also, with the elderly family members that had walkers and oxygen and all this. And so it is true, you can park in any spot, but you have to be able to like fling the doors wide open and also like hold on to that person so they don't wipe out while you're like opening up the walker or folding up the walker. And so I think near CVS, it seems like, I know they're going to be redoing that lot, but I just feel like another handicap spot's kind of important. That's what I was going to say. Even though they can park anywhere, they wouldn't have enough room to really manage all the equipment and a fragile person at the same time in a regular spot. That's just my 2 cents.
Good input, thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, I would support that.
Okay, so did you fill in this one yet? The ADA space one?
Yeah, I would support that. The seniors, I'm not sure. I need some more discussion on that. 2 kiosks, I don't support the 2 kiosks. I think one's enough. Every kiosk takes a spot, right? We're already kind of challenging that. I support the 3 spaces. And I'm not sure on the 3 to 5.
Yeah, if a kiosk has taken a spot, I'm not doing that either. It's more of it should be strategically placed where it is not taking up spots. So
Agreed.
I take up a spot there. I don't know, but
yeah.
All right, Tom?
Okay, the first 2 I do not support. The third one I support. The next 3, I don't support.
I think the idea
Yeah,
behind those is that you,
Mark Lord as no employee, I'll support that. I will support, I think 8 and 12 are the same thing. I think we're being redundant with both of those. The one thing I want to point out, it's been said about if a handicap has it, he can park anywhere, but the space has to be available. So I think we should make the space available. So I'll support 8. I'll support 8 and 12.
Hold on, my numbers are like up in the 70s.
24, what do you got, 74
on.
and
So,
I support ADA 1 to 3.
okay,
74 and 78.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay.
Thank you, Jay. 74,
And-
78,
about 75.
76 and 77. I support 77, 3 spaces directly outside. And 76, I'm not sure on that one.
And I did not hear your senior park for free, permit tag needed.
I'm kind of surprised you have to ask me, Karen, as the senior representative on this committee. Everyone thinks I'm here as a businessman. I'm
Well-
going to make it loud and clear. I'm here
Okay.
as a senior.
But according to the Reading Senior Center, I'm also a senior citizen, so I don't want to leave you out.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
CVS front.
just one thing on the, just to avoid the confusion that people seem to express on the percentages, you could have like the row next to the stores all be 30 minutes. And then the next 2 rows could be, 1 hour or 2 hours, and then the back row could be 4 hours. That was, I think, the intent, just so that people are aware of that.
Yep, I think we got that. I think we understood.
Okay, who's gonna go? CVS front lot.
Tom, why
I'll
don't you
go.
keep going?
I'll go. Or-
I'll go
Okay.
CVS front lot. Push 1 hour. Yes, I'll go along with support 1. I'll support that one too.
Thank you.
Support. Thank you.
Sarah?
I will support and not sure.
Thanks.
Bernie?
What are the existing regulations of 2 hours in that lot?
There's 2 hours and then there's some of them are 30 minutes. I think there's 3 or 4 spaces that are 30 minutes. The rest are 2 hour, and then there's 1 handicap, 1 ADA spot.
I see. So we're adding, again, I would prefer to have these split, like to add ADA being a second item, but I guess I'd support both of those.
Could I go real quick? I have bedtime stuff to do.
Yep.
So the first one on that is I don't support, and then the other one is I do support. That was mine. That's just basically a extra handicap outside the CVS store. And then you can abstain me from all of the Brandy Court thing, and I'll be right back.
Jay, do you want to do CVS lot cobble?
Sure. I think they should all be 30-minute spots. But you're saying portion 1 hour and some 1
Do you
hour
want
and
me to add that? I can add it.
Sure. Unless the demand's not there, and then I guess you could have some 1 hour, but those should honestly be like the quickest spots.
I will just say that the veterinarian is also there. And as somebody who takes pets there, sometimes that takes me 45 minutes.
The restaurant and the coffee shop.
Oh, Nero, yep. So I'm not saying you
So
can't put your
may- may-
proposal forward. I'm just explaining to you why I wouldn't necessarily, why that probably hasn't come up yet.
So wait, so the first bin actually says some are 1 hour and some are 30 minutes?
Right.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be complicated. Yeah, that's fine. I support the top one. And I don't support the second one.
Dan?
On the first one, are you saying you're gonna eliminate the 2-hour spots? Are you just gonna go 1 and 30 minutes? Is that what I'm understanding?
It's
I'm not sure who suggested that or if that was just making some of the 2s into 1s. I don't know.
Because I'm okay having some 1s and 30 minutes in there, but I think you also need 2 hours because you need to support all the businesses.
so is that what the regulations are now?
I think it's
Yeah.
2.
The 2-hour spots and there's a couple of 30-minute spots.
Right. So even though it says add 1 ADA spot, this is still going to be discussed, so we can parse that out while we're deliberating.
Yeah, I'll support that one.
Sorry to speak out of turn, but maybe, I think, isn't there some 15-minute spots there?
No, there's no 15-minute spots in Reading at all.
There
I
is,
think there's some down at the bottom of Haven.
Those are 30, because if there's 15-minute spots, I want one in front of my store. I actually tried to get one and I ended up settling for a 30-minute spot. But I got mine 10 years ago, and since then, they could have added 15, but I don't think there is.
did you have a comment on line 82?
Yeah, I would support that for conversation, yes. Thank you.
Yep. Liz?
So yes on 83. 82. Yeah, I would talk about both of them. I would talk about both of them.
I'll go
don't care.
talk about both of them.
Could we add maybe 15-minute spots? Is that like a possibility? Because some of the very few times I do drive, that's a place that I try to park and it's usually really full. And that's a spot that's right there. If you want to go in and get like a sub that you ordered or get a coffee that you ordered.
I guess a question would be, and I don't know the answer to this, like from an enforcement standpoint, I don't know how frequently
Yeah,
there's the marching around. So I feel like 30 minutes seems enforceable. 15 minutes suddenly feels like you need somebody marching around there all the time, but I don't know if that's.
From my understanding, the quicker that the turnaround is, the easier it is to enforce. It's
Well,
the
then great.
2 hours and the 4 hours he was saying is challenging, so they can get pulled out on a call more like.
Okay, yeah.
It's one of those things, if someone's parking 4 hours in a 15-minute spot, it's pretty noticeable. If they're parking 2.5 hours in a 2-hour spot, it's almost like, whatever, like it's not even worth ticketing.
Right.
So.
Well, I think the theory is that the spots would turn into 15-minute spots with the turnover. So marking it 15 minutes as part of the regulations, you would be limiting who could park there. And I think in one of our first meetings, we shouldn't cater the parking towards the businesses that are there because they could change. And so if the coffee shop turns into a restaurant or turns into a doctor's office, 15 minutes is no longer, and then they'd have to revisit everything. So I think that would add another limitation that I think we're trying to narrow the number of regulations as opposed to adding another one. So in an ideal world, based on all the information we've gotten in the surveys, everyone comes down for 15 minutes. We don't really need to mark the spot 15 minutes because they're going to be gone, which is not reality, but
My experience is that there's a lot of turnover in that lot anyway. It's just natural.
I do know that the select board has not supported 15-minute spots in the past.
Okay. All right, we can talk about that another time. Has everybody gone? 3, 6, 7, 8, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Brandy Lot.
Go ahead, Karen, fill it in.
I'm gonna support that for discussion. I'll support that. Not gonna support that. It's too complicated. I will support that. No, because I think we need to have some employee parking there. I might support that back there. I'm not sure about this. Okay. Who's next?
Jay?
Sorry. Let's see, where are we? Kiosk. Yeah, I would say support for the top three. And I just don't know enough about like the 30%, 60%, 40%. Let's see. Support for the 30%, support 60%, don't support for the 4 hour. It's interesting that no employee parking may not be enforceable, so, but I'm still gonna support it. And seniors park free, unlimited, do not support.
My dog, sorry.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Sarah, would you like to go next?
Sure. I'm, sorry, eating peanut butter. Okay, support.
Hold on.
I would say 6 supports, 1 not sure, and 1 do not support.
Okay, so this is support.
Mhm. Support.
Support this one?
Yep.
Yes?
Yes. And then that one, I'm not sure. And the other one, I do not support.
I took one for you, Tom. All right, who's next?
Tom, you want to go?
Sure. Do not support. Do not support. Support. The next 3 do not support. 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 Thank you.
Bernie?
I do not support in the first 2. The next 4 support. And the next further with the employee support. And do not support myself parking for free, just for the record. On seniors.
What did you say? Oh, this one was support.
Support that one.
And what
I
about,
support that. Do not support seniors park free. Again, over half of our downtown visitors are seniors, so. And I assume that only applies if we have kiosks, right?
Yeah, you're right. Everybody parks free right now anyway. Yep.
next?
I'm talking, I guess I'll keep talking. So I'll say yes to the first 3 and no to the other 5.
Who's next?
Dan?
Yes for the first one, no for the second. Yes. And yes for all the percentage. Yes for the no employee parking. And I'm not sure on the Senior Park free.
Great. Herndon lot.
So that's the one that's behind, the right
Next to
angle,
the
like
police
and the
station.
police
Yeah.
Behind Walgreens?
Yeah, Walgreens, that's it. Thank you. Couldn't remember.
Could
My brain
I
wasn't coming
just
up.
add that I think keep as is and 2-hour parking is identical. I think it already is 2-hour parking.
Well, it's actually employee permit and 2-hour
Oh,
parking.
is it? Yep.
Yep.
All
that's
right.
where I
then.
park.
Now, how is it that there's employee permit there? I thought, so who owns that land? I was just confused when I was looking at that.
There's 2 spaces up against the dry cleaner.
Oh, yeah, Anton says, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like 4 spaces. Oh, maybe I didn't look at it. Okay,
Yeah, wait, the employee parking? No, there's like 4 or 5 employee spaces against the fence.
yeah.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
want me to
Point
screen
that
share
out.
that? I have a map. I can screen share a map that shows exactly what's going on there. If you want.
Yes, please do. Thank
Okay,
you.
I'll
So
just
Or you
go-
can
is-
or you can
is
describe
that-
it. There's only, how many spaces are we talking about? A dozen?
I can't describe it.
But how many spaces?
Yeah, no,
are
it
we talking
you showed it last time and it's really
about?
complicated because some of the spaces are not open. They belong to somebody else and some belong to.
Yeah, there's some spaces go with the Walgreens, and then some are where the police department parks. Some are public.
Do
Some
you want me
are
to stop
employee.
sharing?
I mean, I could just wait till the end, or do you want to see it right now?
I
Are you
don't-
able, if you could whip it up right now, go, or we can skip Harnden lot until after we look at that, either way.
And anybody? Well, we only have town hall lot and then street specific, which.
Yay.
appear-
Well, we do have miscellaneous back at the top.
Miscellaneous.
But the
Yeah.
street specific is very detailed. Thank you, Jay. I mean, I thought my chart was detailed. Yours is like, I have no idea where these places are.
They're probably not, they're probably out of scope, to be honest. And they were
To
more.
say some of those things are
on
not in the
record.
downtown, yeah.
And they're probably more for like a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan. So they can be ignored as they may be out of scope for this particular
You
meeting.
have to find your way into like helping out on these things. I don't know what board that would be, but you have good idea. You have great ideas.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, now we know him, so we can tap into him.
Yeah.
That's right. We have your number. We have your email.
I think this falls under the Trails Committee, maybe.
Yeah, no, seriously, let me know how to help.
Oh, they'll find you. Now that you've made it public and we're on cable, they'll find
Yeah,
you.
Julie knows now. She will tell the towers.
Why don't
I can
you do town
connect you.
hall lot first?
Yeah.
And then Julie can show us the map and then we can go back.
Great. Dan, do you want to go first on town hall lot?
Okay. Yes, I support. And I do not support the next.
Same for me. Sarah, oh, yeah,
No, I know that, but I think we talked about this earlier.
yeah.
In
that
front of
second
town
one.
hall, it already is employee and open.
Yep.
I think this is torn off of mine because I said that employee only for cobblestone, but a couple of the bottom spaces near Nero should be like 30-minute spots or something. Just a couple, the handful of ones down at the closer to Nero should be 30 minutes and then keep it employee only, but that's not outlined here.
So should we add one that says keep as is?
Well, I think if you're gonna support Narrows, you gotta support Venetian Moon too, so you might need 2 hours.
Well,
But it's
in
packed
theory,
after
they could
5
use
o'clock.
they could
Only
use the
if-
CVS lot.
Only if I support Venetian Moon more than I go to Narrows.
So it's currently 2-hour or all day with employee permit in that area.
The cobblestone.
Yep.
I will support Keep As Is as well.
I would too. I would too.
Okay. Who's next?
Tom?
I will support, obviously, support, not support. And keep it as is. Does that mean for both the town hall and, or is to keep it as is just for the cobblestone?
I'll say this for Cobblestone.
Okay, then I'll support that. Thank you.
Ernie?
What is the current town hall parking restriction?
Like in the actual town hall?
Yeah, isn't
only
that what we're
res-
talking about? We're talking about the town hall lot itself, right?
The top one, yep.
What is, I'm not sure what it, I thought it was just for town, is it just for town hall business?
I think there's a sign, I should know, right? Because I use it every day.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll get back to you on if I misspeak right now. I think there's a sign that it's town hall. And then there's no overnight parking allowed, as far as I know. Other than that, I don't think there are any restrictions on it.
So this idea that you have it as open employee parking Friday to Sunday,
Kind of already is. isn't it?
anybody can do that now anyway, right?
I think so.
I mean, I guess
Yes.
A lot of
you
people
know,
don't know that.
Right.
yeah, I support
Karen, you're
that.
right, yeah.
Support that, and I don't support the next one. Keep as is cobblestone. I guess I'd just like to see that more open, more unrestricted. So I do not support the keep as is. I'd rather have it more liberalized.
Chris?
Thanks, Liz. Open and employee, I support. The town hall cobblestone employee only, like I said, I wanted a handful of other ones to be 30 minutes, so I'll do not sure, I guess, because it's not really what I wanted. And keep cobblestone as is, I'm fine with that if the one above it didn't work, so.
Jay?
Top one I support. The cobblestone road, I think it'd be great to close it, make a green space. So I don't know where that would fit on here. Probably not.
Michael, let's add it.
Okay.
Not an option. So take away the parking spaces? Is that what you're suggesting?
Remove the whole road. Yeah.
Remove the parking spaces.
Remove the whole road.
Are you talking about making the common go right to the front of town hall?
Yeah, just making it all green
Oh.
space. Yeah, there's not
Okay.
too many people that turn down there. And
I think you're gonna have to get on board with my garage behind CVS then if you go that route. So I'm happy to see that you agree with that now.
Or you're just gonna have to learn how to defend yourself against pitchforks, Jay, but carry on.
pull your, give me 40 million and we'll get your garage built.
Garage.
I could do it for 5.
I do not support that.
I'm not
wait,
driving a $5 million garage.
Jay, can you help me here? I need
I'm
line
sorry.
5 and 106.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't support the top one.
The
And
very first one,
Oh, no, that one, open employee parking. Yeah, I support that. I'm sorry.
don't
104,
support this one.
104, I support the open and employee parking
Okay.
price today.
town hall, cobblestone area to be employee only.
Yeah, do not support and keep as is cobblestone. That sort of kind of goes against my thing. So I guess we'll say don't support. I don't know. It doesn't really. I guess it's sort of irrelevant in a way, but that's fine. You can say support it.
Support this one.
Sure.
So as long as we're adding things on the fly, could we add no employee on the town? One of the suggestions we got from the survey was no employee parking in town hall. Make it only available for the customers of town hall.
Huh.
So could we add
During,
that?
that's how it is. That's the keep as is. You can't, the current posting at town hall and the right, or do you mean the cobblestone?
The town hall lot itself.
So you don't
Yeah,
want
right now,
any
during, when the town hall is open, it's supposed to be for town business only. And then
Yeah.
otherwise it's free for all.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that, well, there was a suggestion in the survey that it be available for only town hall business during town hours, but free, but no employee parking there either.
No
That
town
was-
employee parking there?
No employee, period. As long as they're employees, yeah.
How many employees does town hall have? It seems like 20 people would lose parking or
Well,
something.
Well,
there's
they just have to
a,
park with the rest of the employees.
In the
Why
garage.
why
in
are
the
we
garage.
distinguishing between town hall employees and other employees? And especially if the town hall employees are making it more difficult to park, they should be subject to the same difficulties that they're creating for everybody else.
Only it's underground garage.
We
I
can
guess the
stop
question,
coming to your
Bernie, is if
meeting.
you think that the town hall people are causing a problem, like I don't think that my employees are not like, damn it, I wanted to park behind town hall. Like, that's not where my employees are looking, like and the reason it's different is because the town hall actually has its own parking lot. I mean, they own it, don't they? I mean, it's
Public space, right?
it is, but I mean.
To be available for everybody. So,
That's the benefit
But I
of
guess
being a
it's,
public servant is that they get their own parking.
well, that's the
I
point.
know, it's fair enough, Bernie.
If they're creating the problems, they should have to deal with the problems.
Bernie,
That
fair
was the
enough.
Okay, but
suggestion.
We added the pie in the sky, cobblestone is green space, so let's add
Exactly.
the Bernie
Well,
amendment.
okay, but I don't want us to start just adding things because.
No,
what-
this
Well,
is,
either we should take the cobblestone as green space out. Unless we want to start adding things.
These were
Your
suggestions.
choice.
Everyone
I
was
think
supposed to
we
add.
should take cobblestone as green space out because the purview of this committee is not to create green space in town. So Jay, I think that's a reasonable
That's
thing
fine,
to bring
take it
up
out.
in another.
Okay, I
it out.
agree.
I
Take it out.
agree. Eliminate, I think it's counterproductive to why we meet anyway. Why are we gonna
Right.
take parking spots away? That doesn't make sense.
Yes, we will all.
We'll
face
let
this
Jay's
one.
other committee do that.
Yes.
his long-term planning committee.
Yes, LTP. And you can park at town hall again, Julie. Thank you.
Thanks. That means I can attend all your meetings too. So I'm really grateful for that.
We appreciate that. Okay, Karen, do you want to go and then I'll go on this one?
No, can you go first, please?
Oh, sure. Yes, no, yes.
Time with my fingers today. What is this?
This is looking like the Hall of Fame balloting, like nothing is unanimous.
Oops. I'm gonna say yes to that. All right, so do we want to look at the map?
Oh yeah, Julie, can you share the Harnden
Julie?
Street lot? Harnden lot?
Okay.
Am I the only one who has a hard time pronouncing the word Harnden?
No, you are not the only one.
I think you spelled it wrong,
I
Karen.
probably did.
Yeah,
I just, because I can't pronounce it either.
yeah.
I think that you spelled it, well, it's Harnden. So
Yeah, Harnden, right.
Is it
I
Harnden
I thought it looked right when I on the spreadsheet.
It looked different in all upper caps than it does in lowercase.
So let me see if there's a, yes.
Just orient us to where Walgreens or the former Walgreens is. And
Yeah, so this is
The,
Walgreens, right? The
Anton's.
former. It's not really former Walgreens. Walgreens still has the lease there, just to clarify. But these red spaces are private. They go with the Walgreens. These blue spaces are 2 hour or employee, as are these two right here next to Anton's. This yellow area is 2 hour parking. And then these tandem spaces are police business only.
And the police station is that one right in front of that, right?
Right here.
Well, that's where the police station, oh, okay.
I have a
So
question.
there's-
People were saying that you can't legislate against no employee parking. But you can clearly legislate for employee parking.
I don't think it was that you can't legislate it. It was that you can't enforce
Or-
it. For employees, you hang something on your mirror. You could just take that thing off your mirror and you're not going to know that I'm an employee parking somewhere. So it wasn't a legislating thing. It's an enforceability thing.
Right.
Or, yeah, okay.
That is,
So-
that was the intention. Yeah, you're not going to be able to necessarily enforce it. You're just sending a message to the employees. And you could allegedly find who the employees are, and if they are parking there and taking up space all day long, then you could, in theory, enforce it.
Well, ideally, they'd be violating the time limit
Right.
unless
So
they were
it's-
employees that were parking for 2
it
hours.
doesn't matter in what way they're like how
Okay.
personally
Yeah.
they're violating it.
Well, where
So
are we
Julie,
talking?
those
So what is the
private
Harmon lot?
spaces, the private spaces that are tied to the Walgreens, so Walgreens owns those spaces. Is that what that is?
Yeah, as far as I know. And then the town, I believe, owns and controls all the rest.
So what is the lot in question that we're trying to give our opinion on?
This whole thing.
Everything here with the exception of the red.
So it's just a yellow block of
No,
spaces
it's
that were.
everything except for the red.
Even the police business only?
Well, so I mean, I wouldn't suggest you change that part,
I wouldn't either.
but
But we could ask to, is what you're saying. I'm not suggesting it, but you're
so
saying.
if you're talking about the municipally owned lot, I'm just telling you what's municipally owned on this map, and it's everything but the red spaces.
And that's what we're, so.
The blue and the yellow.
So can we reframe the question to say the Harndon lot except the police spaces, police business spaces? Would that make it easier for us to, I think it would make it a little bit easier for us to give our opinion.
Yeah, because they're tandem spots, so you can't really park somebody in them.
They're hard for other people to use anyway, right?
Yeah, and
So just blue and yellow areas is what we're talking about.
and again, how many spaces are in this yellow area? It only looks like there are 5 or 6.
So last time we looked at this, or one time earlier in this committee series of meetings, we looked into it, and I think there's actually a lot more depiction shows. I can pull up an aerial if you'd like.
But it's not like there are 20 spaces here. I mean, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 spaces.
I counted 8 plus,
Yeah.
and then 2 ADA spaces.
Correct. It's eight, 2 handicap, and then the 2-hour employees, the 2 up top, and then 5 at the bottom or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. But it is 8 in the middle, in the yellow.
So can we go back to the spreadsheet? So again, keep as is, 2-hour parking, short-term parking by day, employee parking. Yeah, I don't want to add another one, but could we just put it unrestricted or?
Bernie, did you mean unregulated?
That's what I meant. Thank you.
With the exception of the police spots, or,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so we're
guess-
just talking
yeah.
about what was blue and yellow on that map.
okay.
I mean, I
Can
would-
whoever's submitted the third one clarify why you employee parking at night? Are you trying to solve a restaurant problem or? Does anyone remember submitting that suggestion?
I don't know, but it seems like a good idea.
I don't remember. I mean, the specifics would probably be, I don't remember whose it was. So
And what is, how do you define short-term?
I
So
Yeah.
like 2 hour? It seems like it would be either.
Well, is this one of the places we're thinking, because in the street list, it says one of the proposed options is a kiosk. So if there's a kiosk there, then we could it could be programmed to whatever people, we'd have to have a discuss more, I guess, right?
I think you could, yeah, because the CBS lot had a kiosk thing, but this is omitted from it. So I guess it would make sense to have the option here. at least on the list, right? Or no?
Yeah, I
Is
think
it
we
so
need to
many
talk about it.
spots?
We didn't really talk that much about the hardened lot, so maybe we just need to say maybe a kiosk. I don't know.
I feel like we discussed why there wasn't going to be a kiosk there.
I can try to clarify. It looks like in that yellow area that was on the map, there might only be 10 spaces. So it's not a very big lot. And then there's maybe like 7 or 8 that are designated as employees. So all in all, you're talking about less than 20 spaces.
I don't think there's enough to support a kiosk.
Okay.
Is this a real, like, is there a problem here? Is this bothering like a particular business?
It's full all the time, at least when I was over there. I don't even know how anybody could park at that Walgreens when it existed. This place is jam-packed all the time.
Yeah,
Well, I
hopefully,
think, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, hopefully someday there'll be a business there again, so, you know.
I mean, I think it's jammed these days because again, there's no enforcement of the 2-hour spots. So I think this is just an enforcement issue.
Mhm.
I mean, personally, I would keep it as it is because it's a nice mixed use of some employee spaces, some 2-hour spaces, and it's not big enough to warrant much other complexity.
I'm keep as is as well. And my in-laws are here, so I'll
Oh,
try to vote, but I'm also gonna be less available.
Well, I'm glad we got through most of the list with you.
Mhm.
mhm.
Jay, do you want to just give us your votes on everything else and then you can say,
On that list.
Well, we just have this right here. So
At the
Or you
top,
keep as is. What about
he's going to vote yes on the garage up top.
Just pay for it.
I don't know if I have a garage.
We'll put the garage in.
Oh, it's up there. Don't you keep scrolling. It's up there.
at the top?
It's
In the
there.
Well,
mist.
let's figure this out.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't really care too much about hardened lot. So, it doesn't matter. No, I'd say do not support, keep as is.
Thank you.
Jay, do you want to quickly look at the miscellaneous list before you run away or?
Sure. Oh geez, okay.
Yeah, there's
Sorry, I say quickly, but I'm a big liar.
you want to just email us your
Yeah,
checkoffs on that?
that's probably a better use of everyone's time.
So email it to Andrew and Julie.
Okay. Am I gonna have access to this Excel file or is this,
Julie,
You're
can
gonna be able to
this
email it.
okay,
Oh.
let me go through a couple that I definitely, like the parking officer 40-hour position, support.
wait,
Line 8, support. Pedestal sign showing parking options. I think that's wayfinding. 11, support. What's highlight handicap parking?
probably signage as well.
Sure, support. Support more walkable, support. Construction outs parking, support. 15, support. 16, support. 17, support. Street overnight.
This has been taken care of, so we don't have to really do that.
Okay, then not sure yet or don't care. I'll vote however other people want to vote.
Probably delete that one.
Police department already did it. They
Okay,
reinstituted the ban anyway.
number 10, support. Hire consultant to determine parking garage behind CVS is feasible. Only if Chris pays the consultant, otherwise I don't support it.
This one, yes?
I had you,
No,
Jay.
I don't support that. I
You don't support that.
Oh, my heart breaks.
Sorry. It's a terrible waste of time, of space and money. No time limits Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's fine. I guess I don't care. Actually, not sure yet on that one. Parking regulations Monday through Saturday. Support. 5, not sure yet. Hire consultant determine actual parking impact. 3, support. Sure. 4, support. Did I miss any? Oh, 18. Street.
Oh, we don't need to do that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. All
So
right.
can I delete it?
Delete it.
And I assume we're not doing the street specific one down at the bottom.
No,
No,
That's too bad. That's okay.
we'll do it another time.
we'll do that
Well,
as
we
a social event. We'll get
That's right.
together sometime and do that.
We
The
really want to get in.
groundbreaking on the garage, we'll all have our pamphlets out for it.
At least can it be like an 8 or 9 story garage, like possibly? And then actually, why don't we just bulldoze all of downtown and just put in a 6-lane, 3 lanes in each direction? Then we'll have
See?
no traffic. It'll be perfect.
I have the ultimate solution for you. Are you ready for this? We just put the water tower there as well, and then we solve everyone's problems.
There you go.
Yeah, just
You have
bulldoze the
water tower
lanes.
garage.
I want to make this area look as much like Phoenix, Arizona or Atlanta, Georgia as I possibly can, because
Okay.
those are beautiful places full of rich character. Oh, wait, they're not. Okay.
Have fun with the in-laws, Jay.
Thanks a lot, everyone. Appreciate leaving early. Good
Bye,
luck solving all
Jay.
those problems. Bye.
Bye.
Could I make one comment? I don't know if you had a chance to read the information that I gave to Andrew to send to you, but so back to the garage one, when I was talking with the chief and deputy chief, they also said another option they thought about was a garage in Brandy Court. And so I think that you should say behind CVS, or Brandy Court is feasible. Because when you think about it, I mean, it would be kind of hidden behind some of the larger buildings and it's closer to the train station. So it just seems like it could be another option if the CVS one, for some reason, is not feasible or vice versa. So.
If you want to make it another line item, so I can at least vote on my CBS thing, I'm
you
fine with
want it
that. So just
separate?
change the name.
He can't vote on anything to do with that lot.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I'll stop there.
Should we scoot back down to Harndon and just finish that off and then back up to miscellaneous?
Please. Yeah. Okay, who's next?
I only gave you the first line for me.
Yep.
So I'm a yes and then a no. Like I said,
So yes here.
yep.
I'm a yes, yes, no too.
I guess I need to finish mine there. Okay. Who's next?
Dan?
I'm also a yes, yes, no.
Who's next?
Tom?
I'll go yes, yes, no.
Chris?
I'm a yes, no, no. Me and Jay agree.
Ernie? You're muted.
I'm now back unmuted. Yeah, I just think this is such a trivial thing. I think it'd just be all unrestricted. So I'm just going to say no, yes, no.
And Karen, just so you know, you've got Jay in both places on the middle one, and he was a no. So he's the second one in there on that. Yeah, there we go.
Thank you. Okay, so that's everybody there. Are we going to tackle the top one?
We might as well.
All
Yeah.
right, who's up?
Chris, you want to go?
Oh, sure, Liz. Thank you for letting me read these first now.
Oh,
Data,
sorry.
data request to town regarding plan for approved actual anticipated street parking impacts from all the, I guess, yes. Hire a consultant to determine actual street parking impacted current residents and impacts, including overnight parking. I'll go no on that one. Study Sanborn at Lowell Street. Is that near me?
No.
Wondering.
It's near Town Hall.
Oh,
It's where
so what is that even mean?
the dance consortium is at the old church. So you've got Town Hall, and right next to it, there's a church that's now a dance school.
But what does study?
It's where the postmark parking is overflowing.
Postmarks on Lower Sanborn. This is Upper Sanborn.
Oh, this is Upper Sanborn?
Yeah,
Okay,
near the cemetery.
Well, actually, it's both of them.
okay.
Some people, and it's both of them because Lower Sanborn, as we've seen, there's a lot of parking, but Upper Sanborn has the churches and there's
Commuters.
those and the ballet school. The ballet school used to just be an after-school ballet thing, but now it's a consortium or some kind of a conservatory. So there's people dropping kids off all the time, and it's
Oh,
very congested. People double parking, and it's can be pretty tricky up there. So
So what is this actually asking for though?
I think it's right now it's open parking, which is fine.
But I think, Karen, the question is, by study, do you mean this is one of the things we should be talking about, specifically regulating that part of the street? Is that what this line item is asking?
Yes.
Not why is it?
Look at it. We either need to look at it, but it's a much more in-depth analysis because there's a lot of different things. Right now it's open parking, which is fine. But the neighbors are complaining about a lot of the activities from the ballet school and the speed of which people travel down the street. And so it's kind of I'm not sure it's something that we can resolve in our discussions because right now it's unregulated and the regulations are more personal by property as opposed to the whole street in general. So it was brought to my attention and I put it in here. So we
I
can
think
not sure.
I'll go not sure yet on that only because I think we're making it like a global change and then we'd be omitting one street in all of this area. So I'm not sure. Did someone have something or?
No.
Parking regulations Monday through Saturday, meaning everything that we're doing is Monday through Saturday and Sunday you can do whatever you want.
My interpretation is the signs say that the parking regulations are Monday through Friday. So my proposal is Saturday.
All right, I agree with that. So support. No time limits Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. No way on planet Earth. Parking officer, I believe, is only part-time. I think they mentioned that last night. It's getting posted, and I think it's only part-time. But I'll support 40 if it denotes or requires that. Yeah, the CVS thing. It's only the consultant. This doesn't mean a parking garage is going in. So I abstain from this one. Creating the public video, absolutely. I wouldn't mind doing that. Pedestal showing parking options.
What's a pedestal sign?
I think that has to do with wayfinding and signs.
Yeah, that was mine. Because, you know, in a couple of towns that I've been in, like, so they've had these sort of like an overview of the town. I was thinking like maybe down by the depot, you had a sort of a wayfinding sign.
Oh, I thought you meant like the actual like little thing on the ground that you almost drive over every time.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah. So yeah, no, I'm okay with this. I mean, you can almost put on that board, like you said. So yeah, that's good.
Where is it?
Well, yeah.
Highlight handicap parking, I guess. I mean, there's only so few spots, so I would not support it then. Make downtown more walkable floor. Construction parking outside of downtown, absolutely. Focus on reducing demand for parking and not. Is available, it's a parking management issue. I think that's more of a question. I'll go with not sure yet. Inner core, I will have to abstain because that's way too general, and add wayfinding signs, yes.
Sarah, would you like to go?
Okay. Are you ready? Support, 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 support.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm going too fast.
You lost me 3 ago.
Okay,
am I still keeping up with you?
yep, support, 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 not support, support, definitely support, not support, support, support.
Okay.
Dan?
Support. Do not support. I'm not sure. Support. No, do not support. 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 I'll support that one as well. I support that. Support pedestal signs. I support highlight handicap parking. I support make downtown walkable. I support construction parking outside of downtown. Focus on reducing demand for parking. I support that. I support the next one. And I support add finding signs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll go.
Okay, Liz.
Do not support. Do not support. Not sure yet. Yes, support. Do not support. Support. Do not support. Do not support. 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 Support, support.
Who's next?
Tom, do you want to go?
I'm not sure yet. Not sure. Do not support. Not sure. Support. 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 Focus on reducing. Not sure yet. And not sure and support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ernie?
Support the first one. Do not support the next. I don't know what this means, but I don't think we need to support that. Support the next one. Support the next one, officer. Yeah, support the next two on the parking garages. Support the public service video. And parking signs, yes. I'm not sure what it means, highlight handicap parking. I just, seems to me that that's already obviously done. But I guess I support it, so. It doesn't mean it's gonna add more parking or anything for handicap, right?
Correct.
All the, virtually everything that most of what we've heard is that downtown's pretty darn walkable already, so. I'm not sure if we need any more, but I guess I'll support that. I think that the next one is entirely unenforceable. We've heard that many times from the chief, so I think we're asking him to do something he's already told us he can't do, so I guess I am not supportive of the doing something we can't do. Not supportive of reducing. Everything that we've heard is that we need more parking. Inner core should be focused on attracting people and limited. Do not support that. And yes on the signs.
Okay. Yes. 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 No. Yes. No. No. Yes. I don't know what that means. Okay, is that it? That's it.
So we unanimously support making a video about parking regulations Monday through Saturday is what we came up with for the most part. That's unanimous.
Place to begin.
So we have one unanimous one? Oh.
Well, it's, yeah.
Now we've
Monday
got
through Saturday,
parking regulations,
video.
parking officer, video, signage.
I'm just, can you skip back up there for a second? I'm just a little confused how, if you support parking regulations Monday through Saturday, how you could support no time limits Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
I guess I said I'd support it just because if we were entertaining conversation. I mean, if somebody wanted to explain pros and cons of those two.
I mean, just for the record, Friday and Saturday for retail and restaurants are like busier than any days, so not regulating that would be real problematic.
Okay, take me off of that one and say do not support.
Agreed.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? We're unanimous on not supporting 2-hour parking.
Now,
30-minute spots in CVS, for some reason, we're all for that.
That's a possibility, yeah.
Yeah, that. Maps was another one. Again there. This we did not support.
The key to the success of those 30-minute spots will be enforcement, though. I mean, at least initially.
And we'll do street specific another time, because that's we need maps and stuff like that for it. And Julie has a ton of information on that, so I don't think that's something we can cover at 10 o'clock at night.
And what's good about this exercise is, you know, even if things aren't unanimous, we're starting to get a feel for, okay, for some issues, like the majority of people feel a certain way, and that will help provide some recommendations.
It's very productive what we did tonight. So everyone should be very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So maybe you could send this out. I mean, I think it's probably ready to go. You could just send it out, Karen, to Julie or Andrew, and then they can redistribute it to us. And maybe what we could do is just, perhaps people could just put a couple of columns in here, pros and cons. And then maybe we could list some of those out so that as we advance our recommendations, we can kind of give people what they think of the pros and cons of these various items,
So-
especially.
It's not just what we think, right? We're also taking in the data that we got from people we talked to and the surveys, right? I mean, it's.
Yeah, that was my next,
collective.
yeah,
Okay.
that was my next point, is because if we compare this against, let's say, the survey, we might find that some of our own 8-person opinions aren't always consistent with the amount of data that we got from a bunch of other people. And that probably should be made clear as well in our recommendations, that here's the way we think, but we may not be as representative as the survey is. And the survey is not 100%, the survey itself is not 100% representative of 20,000 people in Reading, so, but we've got to do the best we can. So maybe we could just get back to, if people could sort of get their pros and cons on this and send it back, because Liz and I will have to go December, whatever that date was, 7th, to the select board and try to, maybe we can pull together a summary of the survey, summary of our recommendations thus far, and then maybe a presentation that kind of walks people through where we are and what needs to be done. I mean, I guess we could, then we could circulate that, a draft of that before the 7th.
Are we able to get a meeting in at all before the 7th?
We could certainly try. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, I
Is
can meet on
December-
Tuesdays. I mean,
Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah, what was that?
I was just saying I can meet on Tuesdays because before I couldn't do that. So
Oh, you're free now.
I feel like Julie, what last meeting had gone over the calendar, and it was really tight based on different meetings that were going on and availability and town meetings and all kinds of stuff. So I feel like that's one reason why we didn't schedule a meeting.
Yeah, but some of the things have changed.
About,
Like, I think town meeting is no more, right?
Right.
So we
Yeah,
have a lot
so-
more flexibility.
Yeah, so in terms of town meeting being no more, that is like next Monday and next Thursday are open, as well as Monday, the 22nd, though I have another meeting. You could also do, I'm trying to think, you might also be able to do Monday, the 29th. I don't know if the select board is meeting on the 30th. I think they're not, from what I've seen. And then there's December 2nd. And those are all the dates, I think. So sorry, that's a lot. Maybe I just put them.
So the 16th and the 17th, the 16th and the 17th are open. The 22nd, you said? I can't,
The
22nd. That week of Thanksgiving. That's the week of Thanksgiving. And that's tough to do. People
Yeah,
might-
so the 16th and 17th of November, that's next week. Let me just
Yes,
check that I'm not, let me just double check my calendar here.
because it's either that or the week before the select board.
Right.
Which is a possibility. The 29th. The 29th is a Monday. The 30th is a
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, and then the Wednesday
starts December.
The
When-
Wednesday,
yeah.
it looks like the CPDC forum on 40R.
Right.
Wednesday, the 1st is out, it would appear.
Right. So the second is an option that's pretty close to the,
It's a week
I will
before.
share that
If you
that's the
wanna
first
have-
night of, the second is the first night of Shop the Block, so I will definitely not be available.
and
Oh,
also you'd need to have something ready for the select board packet before that night.
Right,
So
So why
It
don't we
looks like
pick
the
one of the town meeting spots?
15, 16. That's
I
next
could
week,
do-
but it looks
I
like
could
we're
do-
stuck with the. Pardon
Yeah,
me,
I
go
could
ahead.
do the 16th or 30th. I mean, those are both Tuesdays. The select board's the 23rd, so 16 or 30, I don't know how people feel, or if Julie, if that was free.
well, on the 30th is my birthday, so
Oh.
I'm hoping to not have a night meeting that night. But
Well, can you make
30th
Andrew,
it
can you make
is.
Andrew do it though?
someone else from staff could probably take that one if that's the date that works best for everybody.
You don't want to spend your birthday with us? Choose
To
wisely.
be honest, no.
This,
There's
no.
no wrong answers.
Are you gonna be
Tonight was like-
25? Is 25
I
years
did.
old or 26?
older than I look. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah,
So
so
what about the 16th then? Is
I
everyone?
can do the 16th.
Shall we shoot for that?
I could do the 16th.
Anybody
it-
not in favor of the 16th?
Julie, is that a day that we could actually be in person? Do you know?
it
Yeah.
might be, that's what I'm looking at right now. You're,
Yay.
We'd have to
Just checking
post
really
that too, right? Like tomorrow?
Yeah,
yeah,
yes,
that's a good point.
we could do that. We're just gonna summarize our
Fine.
presentation and summarize our findings and draft recommendations. That's really all we're trying to do. If Liz and I might be able to pull something together between now and then and get it out.
The problem with tomorrow is I'm not sure anyone will be in town hall to do that.
Oh, yeah, that's a holiday.
Oh,
Veterans
right,
Day.
Veterans Day.
Yeah,
Maybe we better go for the 30th. That might be more realistic then.
That's what it's.
Well, it's just a matter of getting the agenda out, right?
It's gonna get posted, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I can, I
mean, all
just
we have
can't
to do
get,
is
I
post
can't
it.
confirm right now whether that's a possibility. Like, I can try to make that work, but I don't know if anyone from the town clerk's office is working tomorrow.
So Plan B would be the 30th then?
So we'll shoot for the
Right.
agenda out tomorrow. What is involved in getting the agenda out? Is it just sending an email out to a list?
The town clerk, like for your agenda to meet and comply with open meeting law, the town clerk has to post it and put it on the website. And there's a bunch of stuff that happens in town hall,
Okay.
that there will be any staff in town hall tomorrow. Tomorrow is a holiday.
And then
Friday's
there are-
a day that we typically don't work. So I can't commit other people's time tomorrow or Friday to do this for us. And I don't have access to the town clerk's part of the website to do it myself.
so we can go
The
the,
problem with the 30th is that we have to get stuff out to the select board a day or two later than that.
well, that would be on the 7th, so you'd have a whole week from the 30th. It's, if you want to get stuff to the select board, the packet's usually posted on that Thursday. So.
Well, and let me ask you this, Chris. I mean, what are we really on the hook for? Isn't that just like come in and tell them what we've done up there? Are they
Yeah, what's-
expecting a full song and dance?
Yeah, I don't think it's a song and dance. It's just like, what have you accomplished? How is it looking? When is your end date? Do you anticipate, like I said, there's no way we're going to like June or something. I'm like, January is like the latest that will be done, at least in my mind, but I didn't want to speak for everybody.
Well, we got to get the public input, the public
Right.
hearing, whatever in January. So we might go until February or something, but
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not anything crazy.
not June,
Oh,
right.
we have to vote. We have to vote tonight to extend the park thing as well.
Did we rule out the 18th? Isn't that the other town meeting night?
we can't post the agenda in time.
No, the 18th we could.
The November 18th?
Okay.
Yeah, or you could look at also Monday, November 22nd. That's another night that's no longer taken by town meeting.
Ah, good one.
I can do
November
either of those dates. I can do either of them.
The 18th or the which date?
22nd.
For the 22nd.
And they both could be in person if needed.
That I'd have to check. I'll look.
22nd is,
right now.
that's Thanksgiving week. It's just a bit, I got a lot of commitments on that week for family.
So we could do the 30th, except Julie wouldn't be here. Is that essentially the way that it would go down?
Right, we'd have Andrew or somebody else.
Yeah, that's
But
fine.
what about the 18th? What happened to that? I thought we were honing in on it.
Yeah. Anybody have a problem with the 18th was town meeting, but it's not scheduled any longer. I mean, 18th is okay, but it's not, yeah, I mean, it
I can
definitely
do
gives
it
us
at
more
20.
time.
Yep.
Shall we try the 18th?
Works for me. And we could also add approved meeting minutes on that agenda too.
It looks like the select board room might be open on the 18th.
Yay.
Try to
All right.
get that booked for an in-person for you guys,
Or we,
Thanks, Julie.
which could be good if we're talking about things that are on maps.
so I'll put park meeting 7 o'clock.
Yep.
And that might be to be determined town hall. Okay. So is that what I'm hearing is the plan for the 18th?
Yep.
That's the plan, Stan.
That's a good plan, Stan. All right, anything else for tonight?
I just wanted to say one thing. In case you didn't read the notes that I sent, the ADA count in Reading, the people who have handicap permits was 1,272, which was shocking to me.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
like
me too. I was amazed
5%.
by that.
I was shocked. So anyway, I just think, and that further, like what did you say the largest bracket of the population is, Bernie? Like over 50 or 45 or whatever. So I just think we need to keep that in mind. That's why we probably do need at least one more handicap spot, it seems to me. Because they probably go other places.
That's why
Yeah.
I asked if the number was going to be that massive, if it was like 50 or if it's like 1,200, because I never would have, no way would I would have went 200, I guess would have been my highest.
Yeah,
It's
Probably
sort
gonna
of-
go up, huh?
it's
Yeah.
only gonna go up. I'll be on that list someday.
We do have to vote on extending the park though
So
tonight.
so I have a motion to recommend to the select board to extend our time limit until, was it February 28th, shall we make it? 2022?
Okay,
Uh,
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? It looks like there are none. So Julie, is that you will get that out to the select board or Chris? I don't know what the protocol is.
Yes.
Yeah, I can mention it along with we're good for the 7th.
Okay. And then,
So-
please.
Going to be extended through the end of February 2022. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Yes.
Any other business I'm trying to frantically go to my agenda here if I can find it. Too many things open. We don't have any parking garage findings from John. We have a number of items 4, not 5. We don't have any other items on 6. We have another meeting date on the 7th for the item number 7. We voted on number 8 and outreach public forum. I mean, I guess the only other thing we can do is maybe ask if we could continue to send information out to town meeting and any others. We could send out a note to everybody who we have emails from and ask them, to sort of virally send it out to anybody else that they know. But what's your feeling, either Chris or Julie, on asking to have another send email out to town meeting members.
I don't think we should do that until we have set an actual date for the forum. Like that should be our next ask for people. Is
Yeah.
like, we're going to
I thought
present
we
some
were asking-
ideas.
I'm sorry, I thought we were asking for more input on the survey.
No, I think at this point we are like, we're going to make some structured recommendations, and that at that point we need endpoint of like, right? Because we have enough vague, like blah, blah, parking is hard kind of input, right? That's not.
Yeah, I
we
thought
have
we were
enough
talking
directional-
earlier in the meeting, we talked a lot about trying to get more survey responses. That's what I thought we were talking about.
No, I think we were just talking about more public engagement in the whole process, but I think we're talking about maybe the next phase.
Based on what we just determined. So now we take what we compiled today and we narrow it down, and that's what we want to get their opinions on.
Fair enough.
I think at the next meeting, we could finalize that because in theory, we'll be, close to what we've been tasked to do at the next meeting, because that's where we're refining it down to something. So that would make sense to me, but it's up to everyone else.
Mhm.
Any other discussions? Move to adjourn, anybody?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I see none. It's unanimous. We are adjourned at 10:15.
Good night.
Not bad.
Thank you.
Night.
Everybody,
Have a good night, everyone.
good work.
Bye.
Good work.
Thank you.